Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, some of you guys out there. Welcome. We are here today for Battlefield Nations for KNIV versus NAG4, or Dragon, as you guys like to call them. Conquest 32 versus 32 international friendly. We're going to be starting on Province to start with. I have been joined here today by AWildeTime.
Hello. How are you guys doing?
How's it going, guys? So my name is Lycan MB. I am a Battlefield caster for many different leagues and Battlefield Nations as well.
And I'm here AWildeTime, been casting Battlefield since the end of Battlefield 4 all the way up until this point now with these massive community games, 32 by 32. It's going to be absolutely awesome to see, Lycan. I cannot wait to get into this action.
Yeah, it's going to be one hell of a game. We're going to be seeing a lot of different type of kills going out from tanks all the way down to getting melee kills.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome to see how the aircraft, the planes, and the infantry all come together to try and take these maps head on. Both teams comparatively equal from what we hear. We're not familiar with the Asian scene too much, and it's going to be an absolute pleasure to cast for them tonight. We do apologise if we butcher any of these names. 64 players, and unfortunately, I don't know you all off by heart. It's going to be absolutely amazing to see some of those top slayers as well. I mean, what do you think, Lycan? Is the infantry going to do better, or is the vehicle's going to take the lead on this one?
So with the map of Province, we all know it's a pretty damn new map, especially for the bigger side of Conquest. We have got the open fields, which is mainly going to be controlled by vehicles, and then you've got the inside of Province itself for where you go to squad Conquest. That's going to be mainly controlled by infantry players. So it'll be very interesting to see any of those tanks that decide to take the risk and go into the main town. And we're going to be seeing quite a lot of close quarters combat going into the buildings as well. So it's going to be one great game today. One great game.
Yeah, I think my only regret for the game tonight is that we don't have a camera on every player. Thank you, Fikuri. There, trying to pronounce that name is going to be absolutely tongue-bending for me for following. Carry on watching for the action tonight. Jumping back into what you said, Lycan, about the infantry combat in the buildings, I really wish we could have a camera on everyone to see everything. So I enjoy the 5v5 so much, but trying to get the overview of these 32 by 32s is going to be brilliant. I really want to see those tank pushes through those open fields with the infantry supporting, with some planes flying up ahead. I really want to see those battlefield moments,
Yes, we're definitely going to see a lot of those. The good thing about 32 oh my god, I can't speak today, versus 32 on Province is we're going to be seeing a lot, and I mean a lot, of tank versus tank warfare in those fields. And I would like to see a few of those new tanks come to play, like the Puma and the Greyhound. Let's see what they're up to as well, like the Howitzer tanks. Well, we shall see, I suppose. We shall see. But yeah, definitely going to be reckoned with here. We're going to be seeing a lot of action. And like I said, we don't know what these teams are like. This is totally new to us. So we will see who comes out on top of these two. We've got the Knives versus the Dragons. We've got the Knives versus the Dragons.
And it's going to be awesome. And let us know in chat, guys. Hype for your team before we get into this first round. I've seen a lot of support for Knives. I've seen 1 or 2 Dragons out there. Where are the rest of you guys? 126 people in. And show you support. Let's go. It's going to be absolutely awesome to see.
Right, so I believe they will be spawning on the 5th minute into the game, and then we're going to be seeing all that action get into play. I'd like to see these teams absolutely slug it out with each other and get a nice close game. We're going to be looking from a bird's eye perspective most of the time, I believe, until we see some sort of flanking action or some sort of tank push with a nice lot of juicy kills. It's just so we can get to have an eye on what each team's movement's going to be like.
Yeah, we'll try and give you a breakdown as well of the maps and what we think is going to be happening with certain pushes around the area. Obviously, Conquest is one of those modes where you want to try and grab as many flags as possible in order to try and beat your team into submission as soon as you can. But sometimes you do get that 1 or 2 cheeky squad of those infantry guys who manage to sneak around the back, get those back caps, and it's going to be brilliant to see how these teams react. These are some large communities who I believe have played together for quite a while now. We've casted some previously of these guys, and the last time it was absolutely phenomenal. So I can't wait to see. See Providence again, a lot of infantry fighting, but a lot of room for these vehicles to move. A lot of cover for the infantry to ambush those vehicles. So it's going to be key that your pilots try and maintain some dominance and try and get eyes in the sky and trying to direct these teams on where to go and where people are going. So it's going to be brilliant to see that synergy between the teams and also the team leads. If we could hear those voice chats, it would be absolutely amazing, but we can't. But generally in these big games, those team leads are key. Your overall leader needs to be on top of his squad leads, and they need to be talking to those vehicle and pilots to be able to direct the support where they need it. So we'll definitely see which team has the better version of communication depending on the outcome of tonight's game.
Yeah, so I've got a feeling we won't actually see any planes in this game. Province,
oh, no.
Yeah, Province, you don't get planes, you only get tanks, and I believe we're Rotterdam for the second map, so it's just going to be pure vehicle warfare going on.
Oh, spicy. Like it.
We're going to see no pilots. We're going to have no eye in the sky. We're just going to be seeing pure movement between infantry and vehicles. I'd like to see a few half tracks being used as well, especially for rear pushes. We're about to see it actually as the teams start to spawn in into Province. You currently see under the bridge there, we've got a lot of movement going through. Who's that with a lovely cheeky suppressed M1911 moving through? Oh, we're going to see some juicy action straight away. Oh, coming in with that spawn beacon in the bush. Getting it straight in there.
And this is one of the big things about these huge community games. The fact that you can use things like the spawn beacons and stuff allows those backcaps to happen absolutely, like 100% every single time you're going to see it. And it's going to be absolutely brilliant to see what comes out of that.
Yeah, so we're just watching Ursa there going in with the Swomy, attempting to get himself a cheeky kill. Managing to pick up a kill on one guy, however, not being able to finish off the second one. Quite a few bits of dynamite going off, and see quite a lot of turn SMLEs going down as well. We're looking at the middle Charlie objective at the moment, where we do see KNIV fighting tooth and nail here. They're actually both equal in the form of members on the objective. I haven't quite seen a tank making their way over to this point, which is a very, very nice point for the tank to be, because they can utilize the bottom of those bridges for a nice bit of cheeky cover, and they can actually get some splash damage straight through the entrances to each of those tunnels.
Yeah, and those smokes really blocking things off here, and it's making things nice and interesting. Those long-range guys can't get in, and you're just having to spray in, but Naga managing to get the upper hand on Charlie there, as Knives decide, hey, we're going to let them have the river, but we're going to take the upper ground here and just shoot down onto them, jumping onto ZR, as he's going to take the opportunity to use this high ground and hopefully defend the flag this team has tried so hard getting. Tries to get a few kills here, only gets those hits. Unfortunately, Naga coming up to finish him quickly with a 6-man push up onto the bridge here, as we start to see Naga having to fall back a little bit. Very few numbers on the flag at this point.
So I've just noticed that Bravo's only now recently been captured. It was actually left undefended and uncontested for pretty long time there, literally like a few minutes. Literally no one stepped on the objective until now. We will see NAG4 on the objective, and they will start to claim it back. Now Charlie and Delta is under the control of KNIV at the moment. Delta being an objective out in the field, and we have got Charlie Point, which is dead center of the map of the bridges. And you can currently see some tank rounds going straight into the village there. We've got a lot of infantry push going through. Is there anyone on top of that church tower, though? If you don't know, when they updated the map of Province, you can actually get on top of the church inside the center of the map. And you can actually utilize that quite a lot for sniping, just putting your spawn beacons up there and just being an overall nuisance for the Alpha objective. So it'd be very interesting to see if everyone likes to utilize any of those type of sneaky spots.
Yeah, and we've just started having the clash over here on the other side of the map by Echo. Both teams are very stagnant, and we weren't seeing a lot of mixing of those colours here. But Knives and Dragon, or the Knives and the Dragons, are now locked together in this fight. We're jumping onto Evop here with the tank, pushing into the close quarters environment of the stables here. And he's taken a few hits. He's fighting against the other tank here. We're seeing a Hang now pushing him back. Now I believe what is the Valentine?
It's Sherman, and Sherman is out of
play.
ammo. It's fully out of ammo at the moment, so he's going to have to pull back. He's down to just heavy machine gun. That Tiger is going to be reckoned with him. There is a secondary Sherman trying to back him up there, and he just took the bazooka to the left side of his armor. So he's going to be slightly injured there as well. So that Tiger, if he pushes up, he's only got one tank to deal with here, because that secondary tank is literally down to 0 round. You can see at the bottom of the screen there, we've got 0 on the main cannon, 0 on the APCR rounds, and you've just seen the Tiger take one down. We just seen Zahang Akala just went down, and we're just down to that last tank, and unfortunately that last tank is the one that's got his side armor in view to the Tiger. The Tiger's going to be absolutely fine by the looks of things, utilizing that smoke. He's got a rep man on his rear side as well, and it's just going to get hectic in this objective.
Yeah, and all that Tiger tank needs to do now is just hold these vehicles back long enough for the rest of his infantry to push up. But it does look like Knives are having issues getting infantry into the objective here. We're seeing Naga getting almost like 1, 2, 3 kills simultaneously and just cutting that infantry support out. But I do believe we're seeing a second tank now moving in around the right-hand side for Knives, and that's going to make things difficult for the Dragons to move around. And we just saw a good example of that as 2 shots hit that building and start to take infantry out. But Dragons, Naga here now moving in with a 4-man push and looking to reclaim the space that they've just lost.
So we have got Dragons actually going up against 3 tanks in total. We've got 2 Tigers there. There is a 3rd tank. I can't quite identify what it is, but they are literally just sitting on the outskirts of Echo. We just seen a big round coming into the building there, absolutely blowing Echoes away there, which is not very good at all. Oh yeah, it's another Tiger. So there's 3 Tigers in total. Automation there to confirm the Tiger tank. We have got Kaiser there along with Velop, all sitting in Tigers. Echo is going to be very hard to take back here for the Dragons, as they are just getting deep in that objective and just looking to keep them out. Bravo Point, the only objective at the moment under the Dragons' control, and it seems to be fully held by them. And we've got Sherman there moving through the riverbed. He's going to be able to put down some mass fire, and he's going to be in a quite nice position now. I haven't seen many rep men for the guys of the Dragons. I've seen quite a few rep men for the Knife guys so far, and they're going to be able to keep down that fire with those Tiger tanks. And Tiger tanks being a real nasty force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, but what Naga now needs to be careful of is if they lose that mid-map control by Echo and Delta, it's just going to allow those 3 tanks to set their sights on the buildings and start hitting Charlie and Bravo from range here, which isn't what you want. You need to maintain control of some semblance in the middle. And with the tanks in the ravines here, it's going to be up to the infantry to try and take those out. But Alpha is still trying to be contested. Knives just mopping that one up before we could get there. So that just leaves Bravo and Charlie for the Dragons. Bravo has literally not been touched this whole game after it being captured. But Knives looking to change that one up as they flood in through the town.
So Knives is going for a frontal push at the moment, straight through to Charlie. Now, we did see those Tiger tanks in control of Echo. And by looks at Delta is actually under fire, under pressure by the guys of Dragons. They managed to flank around the rear of these Tiger tanks and managed to start taking the capture point at the rear of these guys. However, if those Tiger tanks decide to push up towards Charlie objectives, I believe the whole village or province will actually end up falling to Knife control, because not only will they just be able to rain down fire straight into the middle of the village there, they're just going to be able to put out some mass firepower, take down the Shermans that are going to be incoming, but they've got to watch out for their flanks, because on their right, you can currently see the respawn point there for the Dragons. They're just going to be starting flooding as well. But that Delta point going back to Knife control, which means they're able to secure their flanks once again. So this game seems to be pretty damn close. It's only about 50 tickets between each one.
Yeah, and so it's replay here. I think we just saw High 420 here with the double kill. Takes out one in the river, immediately goes for the second headshot before getting taken out there. And all while that was happening and he was having an absolutely amazing time, we saw Charlie fall to Knives' hands, but Echo being reclaimed by the Dragons there. Obviously, the tanks managed to move away, and that gave me some breathing room to get the second flag on the board. And we're sort of in the 10-minute mark here of the game, with Knives leading by a quite significant lead.
I've just seen that bazooka literally just go to another country. Actually, crazy. We are following the bazooka into another land. That was actually quite funny. Went through a window, out the backside of a broken building, and just carried on across the map. That is Battlefield for you. I've seen it many of times. With grenades, with rockets, with Piats, just the whole lot. You catch some funny stuff in this, and this, you know, that is Battlefield for you. Anything can happen here, guys. And we currently do see a lot of gunfire going down again, as the Dragons under a bit of pressure here from the guys of Knives. And I just seen a tank right behind Imnan here, as he's trying to push up with that lovely ZH of his. He's going out for the flare just over the objective, looking to move in as well. He's got his teammates all around him. You currently see a little bit of fire going off against Steven, who is coming in with, of anything, is that a boy's rifle?
Yep, there you go. And you see him getting, I think, a kill with that before going down. Yeah, cheeky reload coming in. And the tanks are now on point on Echo here, as Dragons start to lose their grip on the outer edge of the map. Again, those tanks bouncing back to provide support. There's not much you can do when you've got infantry and 2 Tigers rolling up on your objective, apart from try and slow things down a little bit here. And with Echo going back into knife control, Bravo's still firmly held by the Dragons, but Alpha now starting to lose its red color there, as you see Dragons start to take control of the city. It does look like Knives are pulled back into that Charlie flag, which gave Dragon a nice opening move with tank cover down the roads into Alpha, as we now start to see Hang put pressure on the Tigers as they try to push across the bridge.
Yes, we're currently seeing that Charlie Delta Echo is under knife control. Alpha and Bravo under the Dragon's control. So Alpha being next to the church, Bravo actually being on the opposite side of the village, which is going to be closest to the spawn point of the knife guys. So we may actually see some counter pushes coming into the rear of the village. You can really see Peyton taking a lot of fire there, actually spraying some bushes trying to find wherever that guy is. And unfortunately did just go down there. See that Sturmgewehr 1.5, one of my favorite guns. I can currently see it's got 3 times on it as well. I love a man of culture.
And it's such a perfect place to use it as well. Like in that position, you can see all the way down that ravine, and it gives you a nice strong weapon to use accurately as well. And Dragons now putting the pressure on. They have Alpha, they have Bravo, they're capturing Delta and Charlie as well. Knives losing the control of the map in a matter of seconds here. They had complete dominance. Where are they now? What are they doing, Lycan?
So we're currently looking over towards Echo. You can currently see a lot of red over that stage. There is a counter offensive going in the middle of the village as well. You currently see some knife control actually starting to branch out towards Alpha and Bravo, as majority of Dragons are actually sat on the Charlie objective, and they're going to be looking to push into the village from all sectors. You currently see them on Bravo, and by the looks of it, they will start to make their move over towards Alpha. They may be able to take it back if they keep this up. You can see a lot of fire coming in from the FG-42, getting himself 2 shots there. Not managing to pick up the kill regardlessly, but he's keeping close to his squad. Oh god, I just seen it. Incoming German, straight into the village. Someone's gone for it. They have gone for the push. Very, very risky, but can pay off for the tank indeed.
But for God's sake, on an absolute roll there, as he moves off of the flag to open up the right-hand side for his team. Freaky getting absolutely mullered from range there, shot in the back as he was trying to run away. But that's the kind of support we need to see from the Dragons when they start to lose the flags, bringing those tanks, bringing that infantry, wrap around and put the pressure on. And that's going to allow you to maintain control of these flags as they start to even things out. They're only about 100 tickets behind. It's not a huge margin to get back. Only takes a few minutes for that to happen. And Knives are letting it happen under their nose here. Bravo is being contested again, but Dragons have that under control. Alpha being lost by the Dragons here as Knives look to retake the village. Sherman is going to stick on that Bravo flag, putting some shells into the building to open things up, but Knives being completely obliterated here as Dragons now start to take full control of Charlie as well.
Yeah, so that tank push definitely paid off there. As you can currently see, pushed straight through the village with that Sherman, put down a lot of fire, taking down enemy players inside of buildings, just being an overall nuisance really in that village. You can currently see Bravo's under their control along with Charlie, which is the center point now. Alpha is the last one to be captured. The Sherman's starting to move back. Now this is where it's going to get very, very sketchy for him. You currently see there's another Sherman to the left over the riverbed. You've got the Tiger up there who's just lost his rep man on the opposite side of the river. You've got Automation moving back in towards Echo. Looks like there's a big knife push going straight into Echo. Who is that taking cover behind that tractor? He is in a real sticky position here, and I believe he aced down. He's gone already. Now that was a pretty questionable prone position there for him. Unfortunately for him, he couldn't move anywhere. There's too many guys all around that position, and looks like Echo will be fully claimed by Knives. And oh, hold on, we have got some movement to the rear of that tank there. But I believe he just went, hold on. No, he's still in the smoke. There's someone in that smoke right to the right next to those flare guns that are popping off. There it is. It's Han Vodka who's going in for the revive onto his teammate. Picks his teammate back up inside the building, but I just believe they took a big hit from a map 38 and going down in a double kill. Very well done for those guys. They had quite a cheeky little position there with the smoke being deployed, keeping the fence up. But unfortunately, they just got overwhelmed by the amount of knives on that objective.
Yeah, and the thing is that they did their job. They put a ton of pressure on that tank. He's freaking out. Hold on, this guy's going to smoke around me. What's going on here? In the building to our left. And he's had to pull back, and that's allowed some of the Dragons to move back onto Echo and put a bit of pressure on here. But we are starting to see Knives regain control of the map here. Alpha is back in their lead. Echo and Delta comfortably in their possession, and they're starting to mount an attack from the Alpha flag towards Bravo and Charlie. Tanks having to now move back across the whole map here to support another push on Echo, but Delta now going down for Knives here. Dragons really doing a good job like just looping around the map in that nice pendulum motion, holding the tanks are at Echo. Let's go somewhere else. Let's grab the flags where they're not, and that's going to keep the infantry nice and mobile, and that's going to keep the pressure on Knives, pulling them from left to right, left to right. And while that's been happening, the fighting in the village has been absolutely non-stop. So I do believe we're seeing a lot more blue than red, Delon.
Yeah, we are. So we're looking at a lot more blue pushing in now. Now the Knife guys will be in a lot of trouble. You can currently see a big shot came off there, dropping that guy from the Knife side. We have got quite a lot of movement on the bridge here from the Dragons, literally just going out in the open, moving their way straight through. But you can currently see the amount of Knife pressure coming in from Alpha, straight over towards Charlie. A lot of smoke being deployed as well. Kind of want to have a look at this guy at the front here. The one with the medic coming straight out. There you go, you got him. Sierra, he is looking to push from that corner there, looking to be using one of his lovely medic guns. Let's see what gets some kills. He starts moving with his teams. We're looking at Keep Freaky at the moment, going in for the few shots of range, managing to get a few hits there, not managing to get killed. I just seen two people kill themselves somehow. I have no idea how, and I always wonder how they do it, but yeah, two guys, one for Knives and one for Dragon, actually kill themselves off there. Maybe. Oh, look at this rough bank. Oh, coming in with a double.
Triple.
Almost with that triple. Almost with the triple. Very well done indeed, though. He had a nice little few shots in there, but unfortunately did get dropped by the amount of pressure coming in from Knife.
Yeah, and you know, he was on his own trying to hold back the complete red tide here. And unfortunately, if he just prioritised his targets a little bit more, maybe went for those closer guys, he could have got a few more kills. But he's allowed his team to have that space to push up for that time. And now they're starting to now push back onto Alpha to, you know, get a bit of revenge here. Flare guns going out. Bravo now going down. The Dragons, we are seeing Knives deciding, hold on, Alpha's not worth it. Let's go to Bravo instead. But Naga, those Dragons now wrapping round from inside the town and from the little river as well.
Yeah, so we're seeing Bravo now being taken back by Knife. Alpha's still under control as well, so if this keeps it up, the whole village will be under Knife control just for the time being. Now we are seeing Charlie starting to get neutralized as well. Bravo is actually going back to Dragon control. So we're going to be seeing their home spawn point actually being reclaimed inside the village. So they're going to be able to branch out again over towards the center of Charlie. And by the looks of Echo as well, it's pretty damn under control here. Now, for the scoreboards at the moment, you currently see Knives are in the lead, 419 to 326. They've got a big lead here, but that can change at any moment. As you know, all it takes is a counter objective to be captured. And then those tickets start to bleed out, along with kills coming in and bleed outs. Those tickets can change super quick, especially in Conquest games. It's a little bit different for smaller scale warfare, but for large scale, any objective can turn the tide of battle very, very quickly.
And that's it. It only takes like 2 flags to start putting a massive dent into someone's lead here. And that's how we've seen Dragons keep this nice 100 points behind. Even though Knives, I think, for the most part, have been completely on top of the game here, Dragons have done really well, like, knocking that lead down. If they can grab Echo here and just hold on to it for just a few more minutes, they'll be able to even things up and put that pressure back onto Knives and make them fight for the game some more. We're seeing a lot of these Knives guys just on the bank firing into the Charlie objective here. And it looks like they're all doing a very good job staying together, keeping those revives going and supporting each other through these pushes. Though we do see one Knives guy get absolutely beamed from the bridge there as we're super now pushing into the smoke to try and get a foothold and trying to defend against these dragons now pushing out of Charlie.
Yes, we've got dragons now making their way past Charlie objectives, heading over towards Alpha. We've got a lot of KNIV on that corner. They're going to be looking to put down some rounds. We just seen a bazooka just barely past the building just there as well. And by the looks of it, dragons are in a bit of a pickle as well on Echo. They are pushing straight in. Alpha Point looks to be under KNIV control and looks like it will remain that way. There's a tank in the center. Flares going up. The tank is taking some hits there, but he's going to be able to put down mega rounds from that front side. He's got a repairman as well. He's going to be absolutely fine in that Tiger. Is it a Tiger? No, that's a Panzer 4, I think. It is a Panzer 4. Yep, I just see the stubby gun. That is a Panzer 4. So he's got the anti-infantry package, splash damage. He's going to be dealing a lot of damage to those infantry players. And he has got his rep man to just take priority on repairing him and keeping him in the game. So he's going to be able to move back in and start clearing out the dragon forces. But that's only if the dragon guys do not decide to turn around with an anti-tank squad and just decimate that Panzer 4. Which we may see any second, actually, by the looks of things. We have got movement coming around to that rear of that Panzer 4.
But knives do have infantry here in the town supporting the tank as it moves up, and the dragons just can't get close. And that tank is going to be key defending Alpha. Infantry running up the buildings against other infantry, they're going to be like, yeah, hold on, we can take everything here. The moment they see a tank there with that anti-tank or anti-infantry package on there, they just run away. They panic a little bit, and you now have to wait for your AT guys to move up, get those bazookas, get that dynamite up to the front here, and that all takes time, and that's all knives need. They just need time to respawn, reinforce, and hold off for another wave here. But it does look like that 4-man squad on the Alpha flag there that we saw run around the tank was able to get the cap behind it. Tank now having to fall back here as we've seen 4 or 5 players in the church to his left.
Yeah, so this is exactly what I was talking about. Like, getting inside that church, we've got an anti-tank frontal guys in there. We're just seeing a nice grease gun kill coming in from Indonesia. As he does take down Spawn Beacon as well, looking to push through, straight through to the church. Managing to get a few hits there onto the other guy over the opposite side of the Dragons. It looks like he's coming in, back up his teammate, getting revived there. And that being a side pass, that grenade was killing him off. And unfortunately, will be going down to a little cheeky dynamite that killed them both off there. But even being a medic, he's going to get those quick revives off. And looks like Alpha Point will be reclaimed by the guys of KNIV. Very well done. They're able to hold and keep their tank secure as well as they start to push back up towards that Charlie point.
Yeah, and the Dragons now still on point here. They've managed to take that 100 points behind to now 50-odd points behind. So they're doing a good job chipping away at that lead here. So we might see things getting very, very close towards the end. But a massive infantry rush from knives here into the village. Dragons not prepared for what is coming their way. Charlie might be lost here. If they're not careful, we're going to see that point, that push splinter off and now get in and around the Bravo flag.
Now, lucky enough, we didn't. Oh, no, we did. Oh, God, it started. So, as you guys would probably know, that if you look at the infrared player in the spectator mode, it kind of goes full infrared the whole entire game. You might see it a few times. Don't worry about it. That is Battlefield and guys for you.
Tricks with the triple kill there.
Yeah, triple.
Comes up the hip fire, finishes off with the pistol, and moves on to Charlie. Picks up a 4th there as well, and if he's going to be nice, he's got to revive, but decides to try and challenge the 5th. Can't quite get there. Absolutely amazing play by Tricks, moving on to Charlie.
Here we go. So he's coming in, getting inside one, getting the second one as he spins around, comes out with the M1911 silence, gets that reload off. Finds a member in the smoke there and shoots him down as well before going back for the enemy team member there with that STG-44 and getting dropped, unfortunately. Very nice feed indeed. Very well played. But that's what I was saying with the infrared. Now, unfortunately, you may see the infrared pop up every now and then, but that is Battlefield for you, unfortunately, until it's fixed. We may start to see some infrared gameplay.
Yeah, and with that infrared gameplay giving us those blue colored glasses as we see Dragons control majority of the map here, and it looks like they're only 30-odd tickets behind. Not a big difference at all. Dragons managed to stop that push in the town here. They're pulling back onto Bravo. They're pushing back onto Alpha, even though Knives are regaining control. And they're also putting the pressure on Delta. Knives just can't catch a break at the moment.
Oh, no. Right, okay, so we're looking at Tarkle at the moment. It was inside the busted open mill. He's currently looking down towards the door at the moment. I believe he's on his own here for the Dragons. Looks like he will be putting down some fire, but unfortunately will get dropped by that enemy medic as he goes down. And unfortunately not being able to anchor for his squad, which is very unfortunate indeed.
Now, will Dragons be able to keep this pressure up, keep on top of Knives, enough for them to start taking the lead here? If they can keep it going, they should end up at the lead around the 150 ticket mark here. But they have to keep on top of it. They have 3 flags. Knives only have 2. And it looks like they're doing a really good job maintaining control of the objectives they have here. But a massive push now coming in for Knives onto that Echo flag. Infantry and tanks coming in. Tiger just took a massive hit to the right. Panther 4 now moving in, smashing Hang off the top of the building here. And it looks like Knives have got a foothold into Echo.
Very nice push indeed for Echo and for the Knife guys. Now they are coming in with a few more rounds of that Panther 4, absolutely decimating, coming in, taking rounds onto that Sherman. The Sherman with his turrets disabled, hitting him in the rear armor. That Sherman's going down in literally 2 hits. Another hit going off there, and there you go. Tiger coming in with a big finish. And by the looks of it, Echo will now fall to Knife control. And by the looks of things, again, keeping up with the repairmen all over those tanks. Those tanks are staying in the game a lot more than the tanks for the Dragons. We did see earlier a Greyhound moving around the map as well, but unfortunately when he moved over towards the rear cap, which was Echo, he did get destroyed by quite a lot of infantry members. And we can currently see here there's a medic for the Dragons moving straight through. Now there is a member to his left there. I'm not sure he's been spotted. He's using the Type 2. A very, 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 very good gun indeed. Very fast fire rate. Very, very nice gun. Let's see what he's able to do here as he starts moving. Starts to claim this objective back. Comes with a lovely kill, taking down Gundella. And by the looks of Echo, fully being secured by the Dragons. Well done to the Dragons indeed. They're able to take that back. They've got Charlie, they've got Alpha. They are losing Bravo, but that's still 3 out of 5 tickets. And the lead is slowly closing.
Yeah, so now as we get to around this 180 tickets here, we're starting to see a 20 ticket difference between the 2 teams. Knives, I mean, what happened, Lycan? Like, how have they managed to let over 100 ticket lead slip in just a matter of minutes here?
So I believe that the Dragons have control of the village, and they're keeping that control very, very tight-knitted. Now you currently see Charlie and Alpha is under their control. They're about to take Bravo back as well. We need to see those tanks from Knives push into the village, because those Tigers are good out in the field, but as soon as you get a tank inside that village and start dealing some splash damage to those Dragon guys who are embedded in buildings, starting to clear them out, because you can see on the map at the moment they've got total control of Province main village there. Now you can currently see we've got the Greyhound moving through, just putting pressure onto that poor Panzer 4, and I believe he is using the long barrel, and that Panzer 4 may be able to finish him off there, but he's dealt considerable damage to that Panzer 4 as he starts to make his move into Charlie. So as long as Knives push into the village, start claiming those objectives back, I'm sure they'll be fine. But well done to Dragon indeed. They're able to hold that village, keep the majority cap, and they have been slowly creeping up on that lead. And they may actually start to take the lead if they keep doing this.
Yeah, and with Alpha being heavily contested, Bravo unfortunately going down for the Dragons here. Knives have come back with a vengeance, trying to take down the beast that's been on their heels since the beginning of the game here. They're determined to stay in front, and we're starting to see them take back control of this game.
So we are down to literally 12 minutes and 25 seconds. By the looks of things, the game will come to an end in about 5 minutes time. The tickets are below 150 per side. Well, I say that, Knives about 157 and counting down. So the lead again is starting to get closer. Alpha Point is going under tooth and nail at the moment. We've got Knife all over the objective at the moment, but we have got Dragons in there as well. So who's going to come out on top? We shall see. Bravo gone to Knife control, so they've actually started to claim the village back. And as you currently see, they're taking 4 out of 5 of the objectives. And this is the lead they will need to win this game.
Yeah, and that's it. I think Dragons, I don't know what happened there. They had such good control, and I think they lost some key engagements in the town, and it just kind of all collapsed inwards from there. They got a bit aggressive against the tanks, They saw, hey, the Tiger's not on the field, it's Panzer 4, let's go for the Greyhound rush. That's cost them a vehicle, it's cost them a respawn there as well, and it's cost them 2 infantry as they start to move into the map, which is going to be key. And as you can see, Dragons have no real infantry presence in the town. They've got 1 or 2 guys here. Knives, they've got tanks in. They've got at least 3 or 4 squads on the cap here. They've got Echo under control. They don't have to worry about Delta so much. But Dragons managing to grab 3 of the flags here. And that's surprising considering 2 of them are actually in the town, which Knives mainly control.
Yeah, so I'm quite surprised not to see any landmines as well deployed in this map. Even in the grassy areas, if you just most of the time you deploy a random landmine in the most random area, you're gonna hit a tank. it's just the battlefield way. You could deploy a mine, like an anti-personnel mine, into the most random doorway, and someone will walk through it. Oh my god, what a decimating shot there! Absolutely blown him away. Max there with that Tiger tank, taking down the Smash, as they're now looking to move into Delta. Now we do see Dragons actually control 4 out of 5 of the objectives, so they're trying to bring it back again. However, Delta has a big push from Knives coming in. You pretty see the infantry is out there. The tanks are moving in. We're going to be seeing those Tigers absolutely just smashing into those buildings. There we go. We've got Max moving his way through. We've got 1 guy left in the objective. He does take 1 down. That was Vodka getting a kill, and Vodka apparently killed himself.
Yeah, and we saw.
He did.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a big thing there for Dragons, and when they've been doing this very well. They leave Delta completely undefended for the most part, let Knives leave Delta on their own, and then all of a sudden, Dragons just come out of nowhere and start taking the Echo flag. And they've been doing that all game, so it's pretty good that these guys that are in the open fields are able to move around the tanks, leaving a lot of the tank support to move into the town here and support and help Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie.
Okay, so it's official. We do see... Oh, hold on. No, they're still in the lead. We've got Dragons in the lead by 1 ticket at the moment. They've got full cap of 3 out of 5 of the objectives, and they're going to continue those leads until Knives somehow pull out another cap or get the kills and get rid of those tickets. We're going to be seeing the super damn close game come to an end. But as it's starting to come to an end, we're just going to keep carrying on, guys, here, because it being this close, the action is just going to keep going. We might not even be able to read out the leaderboards. They might even come down to 1 ticket aside at this point. I've seen it before, and I've seen teams come back from 50 tickets and more against 1 ticket and managing to pull back a win. So these guys are definitely capable of doing so. We've seen it already. Dragons coming back from over 100 ticket lead from Knife and managing to take them down. Now they've taken the lead. NAG4 is going to be coming in and actually starting to drain those tickets through. But as you can currently see, they're going tooth and nail. 61 to 57. We're currently looking at, is it Y125? Who's currently there with a, I think that's a 1.5, not a Sturmgewehr. No, it's a 1.5, 100%. Big mag, big gun. So he's going to be looking to put down some rounds there from that building. We're now looking over towards the Sturmgewehr as he's moving around this right side, back into the village, to the center point, looking for enemy tanks, looking for enemy personnel, and just attempting to get some sort of foothold for the guys with Knives here. And let's see what happens.
Yeah, and like Dragons have now sort of lost their grip on the game here as Knives managed to take that Charlie flag. They've got Alpha, they've got Delta, and that's all Knives need. They just have to hold on to these 3 flags here. If Dragons can try and get a big push on, push through the town, grab Charlie, bounce onto Alpha, put the pressure on. I think they're going to be quick to do this, but Knives desperately defending here. As It's Me takes out 1 and looks to move towards the second. It's on the opposite side here for him. He's getting a bit aggressive now, though, as he runs into 3 guys who just instantly turn around and light him up.
He manages to take 1 down, but he's getting picked up again instantly. We've got the Dragon guys here just on the opposite side of the bridge. Keeping those med trains up, unfortunately taking fire from the infrared of Gundala. So he's going to be able to take him down. It actually goes over the top here. He's looking down through the smoke. This is where the infrared's going to come in handy. He's just going to start spraying through that. Nice quick firing semi-automatic rifle. Takes down Ketten. And now we'll be going down. Unfortunately, did not see Karate to his left there with that Suomi as it gets sprayed through. Now Charlie Point still remaining on knife control, going backwards and forward between both teams. Alpha Point going back to neutral. Bravo and Echo under Dragon control. They are 1 tick in the lead. That's about to change, especially with Alpha being claimed back by Knife. They're going to be able to start taking the lead back out of 3 out of 5 tickets as we come down to literally the wire between the 2 teams. Very
that's a huge kill from the Dragons player there in the church, and that's going to allow them to start to decap Alpha. But with some more Knives guys in and around, unfortunately they can't stack enough players on. Delta is going down here for Knives, but so is Echo for the Dragons, as Knives start to take a very late lead at 10-9 here. 10 tickets to go, everything to play for. These teams have to start winning their engagements here, but I think that might be all she wrote for the Dragon side. It's 8-3. Knives about to close off control on the Echo flag here, but you know, Dragons have narrowed it down to such a small amount. Can they grab at least one flag in this last founding seconds? I don't think they're going to be able to.
I believe that is a GG's. We've got 3 out of 5 of the tickets taken. It's gone down to 0. We have got Knives coming out victorious with just 6 tickets in the lead there. So they've only got a 6-ticket lead. We're going over to the second round of Province, guys. Like I said, I've been liking it. We've got Wild here with me as well. We're both commentating on this lovely match today for these 2 amazing teams. And we will be back again very shortly in the next 60 seconds. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. I am joined here again with Wild. We're going over to the second round of Province. We just see Knive coming ahead with a 6-ticket lead into the first round. Are we going to be able to see Dragon bring this back and win the map? We shall see. The game is about to start. We've got both teams in. I believe one person is missing from one of the teams there, but he will be rejoining very, very shortly. I believe that is a Knive guy. But the good thing about 32 versus 32 is one member doesn't make that much of a difference. For smaller games, it does indeed, but at least it's not going to be too much of a disadvantage. We're going to be kicking straight into it as the 5-minute mark goes down. So on the 40th minute, they're going to start spawning in. This just allows time for players to join the game again. How is everybody doing in chat? I hope you're doing well today. I appreciate everyone that has followed the channel today and have come to join us for this game.
Yeah, and it's been an absolutely amazing game so far as well. Again, like you mentioned before, 6 tickets we ended that last game on. I thought, at least towards sort of the early, sort of middle stages of the game, we were going to see Knives dominate by at least 200 tickets. But Dragons come out of nowhere and at the 150 ticket mark managed to even things off. And they had to do it twice to get to that stage. Unfortunately, they lost control of the middle of the town there, which they'd done so well throughout the whole game to keep on top of. And I think that's where things started to go wrong. And with 50, 60 tickets, you start to panic. The pressure mounts on here. And I think Knives just did a lot better in that situation.
Yeah, so there's a lot of flanking maneuvers coming in from the Dragon guys. That's actually what managed to close the gap in. They was able to get around to the back of the Knife, taking hold of Echo. I did see the Greyhound making his way back there every now and then as well. So they were coming in with a big, big push there with that fast-moving tank. Unfortunately, it's a very, very, very weak tank to be reckoned with. Unfortunately, would go down each time. But still, that pressure came in, and they actually managed to close that lead. But yeah, Knives coming out on top there, utilizing those Tiger tanks, especially all over Echo. Damn, what a game that was. And by the looks of things, we will now start to see a few of these guys spawn in. I believe they're not going to be moving just yet, but we're going to see the switch around now. So we're going to have Knife on the American side. We've got the Germans for the Dragons. So let's see. Yeah, the next map will be Rotterdam. You're going to go see the lovely, lovely Rotterdam map, all the buildings, the tanks coming out again, the bridges. Definitely one of my favorite maps. Definitely one of my favorite maps.
No, I definitely agree with you there. Although I like the scenery that we're seeing in Providence here, and it is a beautiful map. Like, don't get me wrong, Rotterdam it's always going to hold a special place in my heart. It's such a beautiful looking map. Loads of places to hide. The tank's going to get ambushed left, right, and center. But we've still got 3 more rounds of this absolutely down to the wire action here between Knives and Naga. It's the Dragons versus the Knives here. Dragons have been biting at the heels of Knives for the first round. Let's see if they can come back with a vengeance and set things on fire just a little bit more and put that pressure back on Knives.
Yeah, 100%. I am really looking forward to the Rotterdam game because it's all very close quarters combat and you can actually go and get some cheeky flanks on those tanks as well. And that's no pun intended there. They can actually come around the rear sides, go through the bridges. Now, Provence being a real open map indeed definitely changed. If you remember the old Provence before it was turned into a Conquest map, it was quite barren actually, almost like desert-like. So it's nice to see the fields filled in. You can currently see how beautiful this map is actually like well designed by DICE as well. And you can see a little bit of Battlefield 1 to the map, especially with like the mill over there and things like that. So it's nice to see those type of buildings back into the game.
I completely agree. But with a minute left, I just want to go over something here. Do we reckon we'll see the Dragons go in with that 3 tiger setup that we saw Knives use at the beginning? That was very dominant on these Echo and Delta flags, and especially moving into the town. Or do you reckon we'll see them go with the lighter approach of the Panda 4s and sort of the smaller vehicles moving in through the Alpha, Charlie, and Bravo side of things?
So I want to see some Puma gameplay because the Puma is an absolute beast for getting around flanks, getting to objectives very, very quickly early on. Now, what my tempting thing to do was to forget the heavy tanks to start with. Your first initial push, using the light tanks to get into those objectives quickly, getting the spawn off for your squad mates, getting those spawn beacons down, utilizing Pathfinder for your snipers. And you could literally just get an objective and absolutely blast through, capture those objectives super damn quick and put a defensive front on. But as we all know, that heavy tanks are just they're just too good. You just want to get inside that tank, you want to get inside that Tiger, you want to get inside that Sherman and just hunker down and just get loads of kills. It'd be nice to see a Puma and a Greyhound do its work again. They're very underrated tanks. I know they're very squishy, but they do deal a lot of damage and they also get the places.
But you know what isn't underrated? The 2 followers that just followed us tonight, Patrick and Ahmed there. Thank you for following the channel. And keep us in your notifications here because we've got plenty more competitive action happening throughout the next months, weeks, and years. We're not going away at Battlefield Nations, as the next game, I believe, has just kicked off. Naga versus Knives, round 2 on Provenance. Let's see if the Dragons can win this second half.
Okay, so we're still waiting for a few spawnings. We are missing 2 players now by the looks of things. We're 1 aside, so they are now evened just for the time being. We're going to see those tanks start moving. Oh, I see a fast mover as well. We've got ourselves a fast moving tank coming in for the Dragons, and including Jeeps as well. So we're going to be seeing Charlie literally take fire instantly, and we're going to be seeing a lot of incoming fire coming from both members. Now we're looking at an elbow view of a shotgunner there, which was a Carter Blash, who's now starting to move through. He's utilizing, I believe that's a model 37. Actually, no, I'm not entirely sure now. That's going super damn quick.
Some ammo.
They need to get into this flag here, get up through that smoke and put the pressure onto these Knives guys. It is going to be the Model 37 as he picks off 1, can't pick off the second there, does go down as Dragons still maintain the pressure of control of Charlie. They have Bravo, they have Echo. Dragons going to be off to a nice early lead.
Yeah, so Dragons going to have to bring this back super damn quick. Now we will see the Knives capturing all of Charlie, Bravo, and Echo. So again, they have got majority of the village. They've got their spawn point out in the fields. And we will start to see Dragon coming in. Lovely kill coming in there, but unfortunately we'll be going down to his right side. So that's Suomi. Comes out with the smoke grenade cover. Goes for the medical assistance. Looks like his teammate will be picking up his friend there behind him. He took a tank round and managed to survive that as well. But you should never stand in the same place twice, especially when there's a tank bearing down on your position. Because that splash damage is absolutely lethal. Absolutely lethal. Lovely kill there from that Lewis gun.
Yeah, Hang now moving up for that revive for Knives as they start to stack players onto Charlie. Not enough to quite get the cap though. we are seeing the jeeps and vehicles that they used to move in not being used or destroyed. Can't quite get the kill there though. That railing getting in the way as he gets lit up by 3 more of the Dragon players. Dragon doing a very good job early on game, trying to hold things here. But I'm curious to see what the Echo and Delta gameplay is going to be like as we start to see tanks now moving towards Charlie. Things must be opening up around there.
Yeah, so out on the field, it actually looks a little bit barren. We've just seen Gundella there. We've seen another tank. We've got 2 tanks going up each other. Rocket going straight into Ramu there, into the side armor of that Tiger. And by the looks of it, he's still holding firm. He's got his rep man right beside him, taking some income fire. That actually deflected that round from that German tank. The second hit, though, was a big hit coming in from those HPCR rounds. I believe he's going to be absolutely fine, though. He just not need to panic. He just needs to be able to angle his armor properly, start deflecting those rounds. That Tiger can outgun a Sherman any day. Absolutely outdone it. But yeah, his rep man's doing a stellar job there. He is taking damage. He is reversing away. And he should be absolutely fine. Now, looking over towards the center point, we have got big movements coming in from KNIV, and we do see a lot of Dragons on that Charlie objective as well. They've got full claim of Charlie, but we've got KNIV going straight to Alpha from Bravo, and by the looks of the mass pressure they're putting on Alpha, they're going to be able to take that back if they carry this on. They need to be able to push through that alleyway up the top right, where there's just 1 member defending at the moment. Now, let's see what they're able to do.
They were here with Johnny with the sniper aiming down the road there. Sees the muzzle debris and bullets ripping through past the fountain, moving a slightly bit more forward. The Sturmgewehr there as he sees his teammates going down to the right, still holding position. And it does look like we are going to see John get the kill there with the sniper hang and not able to retaliate quick enough. Smoke coming down for that revive. And we are going to see Dragons holding onto Alpha for just a little bit longer, but their left flank is collapsing.
Yeah, so we could see knives coming in from the top end, straight to the fountain at the front of the church. Putting down a lot of fire. We just seen Boy actually take a lot of damage there, but managing to get his medical systems back up to full HP. And we have just seen a counter flank coming in from behind, taking 1 down and moving straight through for the Dragons, being an absolute beast, clearing out that knife push. And just securing Alpha overall as they now look to push up towards Charlie, which is still going backwards and forward. You currently see it starting to get neutralized. It's now going back to knife control, but that's going to change again, especially if Dragons are able to keep this up. And there you go, it's starting to change all of a sudden.
Yeah, and we start to see Hang clear things up with the dynamite here. Moves in, clears up the right-hand side, but players to his left, to his right. He's on his own. No one there to back him up. But we are going to start to see Dragons reclaim Charlie here and start to put the pressure on. Knives are slowly falling back here, back into the town, looking to push in across the bridge. But they're just getting gunned down from the left, from the right. Flares are coming in, but we are starting to see Panzerfaust and bazookas ripping apart their cover. And it's just players left in the smoke here. And there's not much you can do when you're on your own with such a big push coming your way.
Okay, so Charlie Point looks like it may be fully claimed here by the guys of the Dragons. We have got knives starting to move back, and a big tank round coming in, taking out poor Steven as he gets blown outside that building, and unfortunately just dying outright. And we will start to see more knives moving into Charlie Point now. Those tank rounds are still going to be pumping into that building, and the knife guys have got to be super careful to get flank here. Now we're looking at Cartier again with that Model 37, unfortunately getting blasted away by a Sturmgewehr 1.5. And incoming dynamite there from Hang Bliss, who's going to be looking to put down some cheeky explosives there, trying to get himself a kill. And oh, we've got movement in straight inside the smoke. That's a trench as well. A trench carbine, a very underrated, fully automatic, well, fully and semi-automatic rifle for the sniper class. Very, very powerful indeed.
Yeah, Niger had cracked that building there, just ripping players left, right, and center. But Niger now setting up. Lewis guns are on the field here now, moving into the center of Charlie as the Dragons start to lose their composure and lose their control of the grid. Things are too hot.
Yeah, we're looking at Boom at the moment. The lovely gilded Lewis gun. He's coming in from behind. Oh, a big AP round, literally just passing over the Panzer 4. And we have got ourselves a KE7 with the 3 times just chilling in the dirt there. He took a little bit of a hit from that Panzer 4, but he's going to be absolutely fine by the looks of things. And again, I just think someone killed himself. It's not help, but someone killed himself. And looks like that Panzer 4 will be pushing into Charlie. He has got Poyo backing him up as well with that Gewehr 43 as they start to move up and try and take down these members of KNIV and claim that Charlie objective in full cap, so they can then move and branch out either towards Bravo or go up towards Echo, as Alpha is currently being taken back by the members of the Dragon. So they are currently in the lead at the moment, as you can currently see. We've got the red team in the lead, which is the Dragon. They need to keep this lead up, because if they do this, they can actually come out on top on this map, and then we'll move over to Rotterdam. So by the looks of this is a real close game between these two teams. They're very well matched indeed.
Yeah, and like this is what we really needed to see from the Dragons there, being hella aggressive with the tanks into Charlie. And the infantry is just going to freak out. They're not going to know what to do when they see a tank coming through and there's no cover around them here. But KNIV's now pushing into Alpha. They've got a little small squad now moving in with the shotgun into the church here. Absolutely Muller's hang as he runs up these stairs, now looking to get into even more close quarters and tidy up the church here. Misses the first shot, takes out the second hang there. Boyer going down with the triple here. And we're seeing Cartier there on a absolute roll, getting the revive, and that is going to crack Alpha wide open for the KNIV.
Very well done as well for the shotgun guy there. You can only see he just went straight through the back of that building, came in, absolutely spraying into the rear. These guys had no clue what was going on. That model was 37 absolute beast in there, taking down another member, blowing him straight over the chair, and coming in as a team player, getting the revive into the squad mate. Very well done to him indeed. Very well done.
Yeah, so now with Alpha in knife control, we are going to start to see things changing up rapidly in the town, as Bravo has always been there for the knives. Charlie now has been there for the knives. Dragons had to pull back to try and retake it. They lost a lot of players there as knives now start to set up on the bridge. Tank is now under pressure as 3 assaults now start to move in as he starts to take shots from the front as well, from long range in the squad. Bazooka hitting on the left. The repair guy is out and he's trying to fall back. Manages to take out Gun there, but the final Bazooka, the Panzerfaust coming in from shoot to kill, and that he did like it.
Yep, so that Tiger is fully down now. The center field is pretty clear for these Shermans to start to push up. There is still a Panzer IV at the rear field there, but 2 Shermans versus a Panzer. That Panzer's in a little bit of a sticky situation, especially when he's starting to take some rocket launcher shots as well from the bridge area. Charlie, looks like Alpha seems to be... Oh, hold on, never mind. As soon as I said that, we just seen a big Panzer IV shot go into the rear of one of those knife guys, leaving Ursa on his own at the moment. Oh, and yeah, there we go. The Sherman coming in, taking down that Panzer IV, blowing him away. As we do see Bravo Charlie Echo under knife control with Alpha and Delta under the Dragon control. And we do see KNIV start to take the lead here. They've got quite a nice lead as well. 15 seconds to exact. Coming in with that lovely gun. Getting the double headshot kill coming in before going down with that beautiful spree. Gets picked back up and he's back into the game, rocking a Suomi. Oh, he's coming in again with a few shots, but actually gets blasted from behind. Very important indeed. So, there's Johnny at the moment who's coming in with a lovely headshot. Gets himself a secondary headshot. Very nice.
Yeah, so things looking up for knives as they start to retake control of the game here. 20 tickets in the lead at the moment. Dragons have lost their bot. They're starting to lose control of the game here. Knives are here, there, and everywhere, just slowing them down every step of the way. The tankers for Dragon just can't get their teeth into anything here as they're going down one after one. It's looking pretty grim, but Dragon's now starting to push back into the town from Alpha, putting massive pressure on knives, but with the smoke coming in. Oh, Rad with the quick reactions there, out of the revive, through the smoke, gets a massive headshot through the road. And that's going to allow his team to push pretty much uncontested through to the Alpha flag here.
Yeah, so Alpha's going to be wide open now to attack. We're going to be seeing KNIV just pushing straight through. Charlie Point actually being captured back by the Dragons. Delta going back to KNIV control. KNIV's counter-rotating and doing very well about this. They're able to take back those objectives and keep that lead going. And they're draining those tickets away. Those Shermans coming in with a mass amount of fire. Just seen Kaiser picking up a double kill, taking down Kakuri and Giller. Absolutely blowing them away. They're probably out the outskirts towards Echo and Delta. And yeah, looking at the field at the moment, you can currently see those explosives going straight off. We just seen another Tiger round coming through as well. The mill's been blown wide open. We've got a lot of firefights going on here. Delta, oh, Smash is in a bit of trouble here. Took a big hit. He has spotted that Sherman. Going for the rep man. Smart thing to do there.
Fortunately, does get taken out as we start to see 2 Shermans now pushing in, surrounded by infantry support, using himself as space armor against the Tiger there. Very interesting tactic to allow the Sherman to get another shot off and able to destroy that Tiger. So very well done throwing yourself into the line of duty right there. You know, very odd tactic, but it does work.
Yes, with Tiger being, what I'd gather, is probably one of the best tanks in the game. Armor-wise, damage-wise, those APCR rounds going up against the Sherman. Now, the Sherman's like paper in comparison to the Tiger, but if you just get the right angle, you've got your infantry supporting you up as well, getting some shots into those Tiger tanks will crumble eventually. But yeah, absolutely well done to these Shermans coming up with some damage. We have got Bravo, Charlie, Echo with Delta starting to there, but KNIV still coming out with a big lead. Now they're coaching up to 100 lead, and they get straight into it.
Yeah, and I think this is the thing that we saw in the beginning of the first round. Their KNIV just came out and just dominated. But they need to be careful if they get overly aggressive here and they start to think, hey, we're absolutely smashing these guys. The Dragons will bite them in the backside. And, you know, we saw how close it came to in the first round there. KNIVs can't afford to now lose control of the real estate they have on the map right now. They have to now start to push that line up, fight off of the flags. Don't defend them. Fight off of the flags here. Give yourself that time and that space in case you lose your engagement. And that's what we need to see. But Dragons still fighting here with a huge push onto Charlie.
Yeah, so Charlie's being fully pushed in. He's being claimed super damn quick by the guys of the Dragons. We're looking at it again. Mr. Shotgun Man, as I like to call him, because he's the only guy with a shotgun I've noticed so far. I believe I've seen a drilling actually. And they, I don't know which team that was for, but I think it was for the opposition, the Dragons, but unfortunately we'll get blasted down by that Swomy, and we've just seen another double kill coming in from Johnny. He's coming in, getting a few sprays, goes for the revive onto his teammate. Very well done indeed, nice team player there, making sure his team is up and fully rocking and rolling. And also, by reviving your teammates, you do save a ticket, so always remember that. If you're in competitive scenes, if you're a medic, I mean, if you've got the option to save your teammate, go for it, because, you know, that ticket can count, especially when it comes down to the wire, like in the last game.
Yeah, and this is where it comes to now. KNIVs just need to maintain the control. They've now pushed back onto Charlie here to counter push this attack from Naga. But with Charlie going down, Echo going down, they're just spread so thin on the defense. You see Echo's got 2 guys on it, and we're starting to see tanks and players push here. Charlie has got tanks and players on it, but KNIVs now looking to really mount the pressure on and, you know, give Dragons a run for their money on this effort.
Yeah, so they're looking to move their way through. We've got this building getting absolutely decimated by incoming tank fire all over Echo at the moment. Comes out with a lovely kill versus shoot to kill, takes him down, and looking to carry on, just chilling really out of the field. Doesn't look like there's any more contention to his point. He is looking to move back into Echo. He's going to run into a member now inside that barn, which has been blasted open, and unfortunately will be going down to Stephen. Which is very unfortunate indeed. But Echo will now start to go back to KNIV. Big bazooka gun up on top of that building, almost taking down Smash. Let's see what happens here. Another tank round going into the barn as well. Just a lot of tank fire going on. This is what I love to see. I love to see those tanks being utilized and just being used in a competitive scene. That's what it's Battlefield for you. Look at the 3 Shermans just chilling on the
beautiful
ammo. Getting their ammo. They're moving herds. They definitely moving herds.
I think that's what you need to do, especially when you've got 2 Tigers sat there lobbing 88 shells right across the fields there at you. There's not much you can do against that. Also, we've got AT gun up as well. Apologise, just the 1 Tiger here at Delta. We've seen Automaton here just being very sneaky with a tank right above him. Hopefully his teammates can spawn on him and he can now push and lead that charge into Delta, crawling his way through the ravine. And they have no idea he's there.
So he's actually a tanker as well. You can really see his class. He's a tanker class, so he's abandoned his tank. Either that, he's been blown up and picked back up. And I believe he's got landmines out actually on that road. I think I've just seen 2 of them there actually, right next to that truck. Yeah, there are. There are 2 landmines there. I'm actually wondering if a tank's actually going to run into them. Now we've got that Tiger putting down some rounds over towards the infantry players. We've got Nazi almost taking a big hit there. They're still looking to move through. Those two guys are actually anti-tank infantry, and I would like to see them push up onto this Tiger tank, get around the rear, get a few hits in. And by the looks of it, one is making a move. I believe that's a sniper class. We've got a medic moving as well. We've got Vodka getting very, very sneaky here. Looks like he's rocking the Tommy gun as well. Now, he hasn't decided to move up just yet. He could be anchoring for a squad. He's got one member next to him. He's got another member over the opposite side. So he's one member down at the moment. But by the looks of it, he will start to move back towards Charlie to put down those pressure onto the guys at KNIV. Now, Dragons do have 3 out of 5 of the objectives. We've seen this in the last game. They're going to be managing to start bringing that lead back now. And if they keep this up, they'll then take the lead. And that's what they need. They need to be able to win this map. They only need to win by 7 tickets or more to bring through the win on Province.
Yeah, and it's going to be a big ask at this point here, as they've let a huge lead of knives appear from that big push that we saw a few minutes ago here. But with Dragons holding Alpha, Charlie and Delta with over 400 odd tickets to go, so 388 tickets to go here for Knives. There's still plenty of time for Dragon to grab back a lead. It was around the 150 ticket mark that we saw them there, and in that first round we take control of things. But when you're starting to allow players of Knives to lay around in really odd positions, acting as spawn beacon, you're going to make things difficult. But Manguk there doing a really good job, gets the kill, goes to the revive, picks up one, picks up a second coming out of the window as well, and he's now looking to go for the revive again. Tries to load the smoke, and unfortunately that's going to be all she wrote for him. Unfortunate timing just there.
That Type 2A is an absolute beast. You can see hip fire sprays literally just instantly dropping enemy teams there, and he comes out, takes down the guy with the infrared scope, and just carries on doing his job.
Yeah, really good individual plays there from the Dragon players. But unfortunately, it's not enough as Knives start to move closer and closer to Charlie. And they're going to look to decap that as Dragons now maintain the flag lead here at 3-2.
Okay, so we're looking at a trench carbine at the moment. He's coming in for a few rounds of long range with that fully automatic gun. Absolute beast to be reckoned with. That's using the 2-time scope. Something you don't see very often on the trench gun, actually. I'm very, very surprised to see this, especially on this map. 3 times definitely would come in a bit more useful, but it's entirely up to the player what they use. It's probably more used to this gun, to be honest. And by looks, we just move backwards and forward on that Charlie objective. I want to see a trench carbine speed. Let's see if we can get hold of one. He's going to be able to perform. You know, he has deployed his flare, but looks things is fully out. He has to put down Storm Beam, coming in with a few shots there. Oh,
my
no,
God, how?
Oh, what the? What absolute insane clip. He does a 360, gets stabbed, manages to get a headshot, clutching up, almost choking it. He is still alive and kicking. He's about to be pushed again. Oh, and
what am I watching again? Like, how close was that to dying right there? Managing to get a lucky headshot towards the end, but unfortunately he does get taken out as Knife start to gain control back of Charlie. But now they've lost Bravo, they lost Alpha. Delta is now back in the hands of the Dragons here. Knives really, really struggling to maintain the control at this point in the game.
Yeah, so we still got KNIV in the lead at the moment. You currently see 315 to 255. So it's still a big, big lead. However, like I said before, this can change too damn quick. Now, Big Bazooka's going inside that tank, dealing a lot of damage. He's got 2 rep men. I repeat, he's got 2 rep men on that Sherman. And he has lost his turret ring. You currently see the grinding coming from that turret ring. He's taking rounds after rounds after rounds. Still managing to hold and still managing to stay alive. Those rep men are definitely keeping him alive. Is he going to be able to pull back here? And did I just see a plunge mine? Oh my God, I want to see a plunge mine kill now. I want to see one. Comes out with a bazooka again. Gets another hit by the looks of things. That tank is managing to take a little bit of cover behind the rocks, putting down some fire as well as KNIV teammates have pushed up. I believe that tank will be absolutely fine.
But now it's created room for the other tanks to start moving out without fear of getting shot on the left-hand side here. And it's taken out the support of that Sherman in the center onto Charlie. And as you can see, Tiger's now starting to move up. Bazooka's coming in though, putting a bit of pressure on. Personally, I wouldn't reverse out of a situation like that with just 1 or 2 bazookas, especially when you've got your rep man with you. Keep the pressure on. You're there to take, you're there to take those shots so the rest of your team can push in and take advantage of the madness.
Yeah, so as you know that when you're a tank and you're sat in an objective, the infantry kind of prioritize you and they forget about the infantry around you. Because they'll just take an opportune shot to get inside the tank. And by doing so, you can currently see that a few shots going up from that Panzerfaust, dealing a lot of damage. But by doing so, they leave themselves wide open. Either be returned fire by the tank themselves, Repman put a few shots on them, or even some just infantry member who decide to peek at the right time, just literally get themselves a cheap, easy kill. So, but yeah, guys, if you don't already know that the glitch for the infinite firing guns, the fully automatics, is definitely a glitch for spectator mode. It seems to be more prominent on consoles than it is on PC. So if you guys do see that sort of stuff and they're shooting into the sky, don't worry. It's just all due to dice, unfortunately.
Yeah, and as much as it sucks, though, it's not going to suck as much as KNIV's now losing control of the map there, allowing Dragons to start to knock this lead back down. And if they can carry this on, we're going to see them at the same point as we saw in the first round, around that 150, 170 ticket mark. Even things off, and then it's going to be neck and neck for the rest of the game. We just need to see those Dragons push that little step further there. Maybe not overextend to the point they're going to start to lose flags, like we're going to see here on Delta if KNIVs keep the pressure going. We really need to see that Tiger take those tanks out and really start to put fear into the infantry pushing onto the flag.
Okay, so that Sherman just took a big APCR round straight to the frontal arm. You couldn't see the smoke, but he has got a rep station right next to him. He's going to be looking to stay alive. That tank needs to push up. That Tiger needs to get super damn aggressive. And by the looks of it, he is indeed popping down those rounds, dealing mass damage to that Sherman. Sherman again, to Repman. You've got Max there as well, who's also a Sherman tank. And the smoke being deployed. You've got anti-tankers coming in from KNIV. That Tiger is in trouble. Now, I'd like to see the Shermans actually go around for a flank in here, because they have got the rep station. They've got that rep men. If they get to the rear arm of that Tiger, with the help of their infantry, that objective is fully theirs.
We're starting to see some snipers now moving around the left-hand side. Gets 2 hits. Unfortunately, no source on that. But that Tiger's done his job. You know, he might not have got the kills that he wanted, but he's forced the tanks back long enough for the rest of his infantry to come and support. Unfortunately, that support hasn't stayed alive as long as he wanted it to, and that means we are going to see Delta switch hands, but it's still very heavily contested. That tank has now gone down there. 80 grenade pistol, such a small, humble gadget here, taking out such a dominant beast on the map as KNIVs start to take control of Bravo, Delta, Echo, and it does look like they were putting pressure on Alpha as well.
Yeah, so we're looking at Delta going back towards Dragon control, but KNIVs are fully surrounded that Tiger tank. That Tiger tank is in a lot of trouble. I believe that was a plunge mine, just hit him in the side armor. He just took some dynamite coming in from Steven. He's in a lot of trouble. His track is damaged. His left track is currently moving slower. He's got his rep men behind him. He may be absolutely fine here. There seems to be more Dragon members on the objective. And we're looking at Goat actually starting to move up in this building with the Lewis gun taking fire from behind. Unfortunately, going down to Echoes as, by the looks of things, Delta will be fully under the Dragon control.
And that's what they want. But now what they don't want to be doing is losing their grip on Alpha. And that's happening. Very few Dragon players on the flag, and I'm seeing a lot of blue wrapping around here. And these guys are busy firing flares up to try and get an idea of what's going on in the map. But by doing so, they've left themselves exposed here. As you start to see Sergeant Easy now moving into the church. And he's just going to keep that ball rolling for his team. His mates go down here. Now the revives coming in. And it does look like the smoke is going to allow him to move back around and get that revive off.
So we're currently looking at Alpha, Bravo, and Echo under KNIV control. Charlie and Delta under the Dragon control. KNIVs are in the lead here. They've got another cheeky lead as well. So they're going to be looking to continue this. If they keep those tanks out on the field, keep the pressure up, they're sure to take this back. Now, we do know that the Dragons have come back before, and they will probably do it again. So we're going to be seeing maybe a map flip again. By the looks of things, we will start to see the Dragons moving in. We've just seen Automation and Kaiser, Max, all 3 Shermans getting themselves a few kills there against the Dragons, dealing with them into their infantry line. And very nice holding there from Johnny, just waiting at the outside of the church. He's about to be pushed here from the left side, comes down from the alley, gets in a few rounds with that Swarm. He does get the headshot, very well played indeed. And he will be going for the revive.
Maybe duck next time.
Very well done indeed, very well played.
Yeah, and as we were speaking there, we saw KNIVs maintain control of 4 flags, but then all of a sudden, in less than a minute, They're all being flipped onto the Dragon side of things. Echo has been lost. Charlie's been lost. Bravo is being contested and being taken by the Dragons. And this is what you were on about. Dragons aren't out of the fight just yet. They can easily grab this back. But it doesn't look like Knives stabilizing the Charlie flag unit and now mounting an attack on Echo.
Big round going to inside that Sherman. Now the Sherman was angled correctly and he took 13 damage. And by the looks of it, his track should be absolutely fine as well. So that is one thing you need to realize when you're tanking, especially if you're a World of Tanks player, actually. It kind of, the skill kind of like comes into Battlefield as well. You can angle your armor against incoming tank rounds and bazookas. And if you do it effectively, you take minimal damage. So it's something for you guys out there. If you think you cannot do it, I'll just give it a go. Get your friend to help you out or something. Go on the opposite side, just practice that sort of stuff. Because a tank can turn the tide of the battle. And you could see it there with those Tigers pushing up, with those Shermans counter pushing. The rep men keeping their Shermans alive. That tank is almost dead for sure. But he should still be absolutely fine there. The rep man's keeping an eye on him. And by the looks of it, looking in towards Bravo, which is currently starting to get contested, going backwards and forwards between both teams. We do see one member there from the Dragons. And that is, well, oh my god, here we go. I am Zulfuki. Fukri? This is where I butcher names for you guys. And he is running a Pathfinder class, so definitely communicating with other snipers out there who are going to be putting down those spawn beacons. He's going to be able to spawn off his fellow teammates' spawn beacons as well without being in the same squad. Definitely something to be using in a big game mode like this.
Yeah, and that's allowing his team to now spawning him, just staying alive was key there. But we are going to see Knives mop up the rest of the Dragons on Bravo here, allowing them to now set that line up, push up, put the pressure back onto Charlie. Knives have got a comfortable lead here of 140 to 160 odd, and they got tickets to lose at this point in the game. So it's going to take that pressure off, allow them to reset here, and put massive pushes onto flags like we've just seen with Alpha Lycan.
Yeah, so Alpha now going back to Knives control. We currently see Knives in the lead, 132 tickets, 258. They're taking back Echo as well. Oh no, sorry, Echo's going back to Dragon control. And by the looks of it, just as quick as that, as soon as I say it, it's about to get flipped around once again. The Dragons need to be able to win this. They need to keep their revives up to stop those tickets being bleeded out. They need to keep hold of 3 out of 5 of the objectives and start whittling down those enemy tickets. And also utilising those tanks to get those kills and secure those kills to stop enemy medics from getting those revives. Now, we are seeing a lot of members going down there. Now, is that assault player going to go for a teammate, which would then save him a ticket, which is going to carry on pushing through? So, unfortunately, it looks like he was starting to carry on, and unfortunately going down to the left flank, where he could have spun around and picked up his teammate, saving that ticket.
Yeah, and another thing that I've noticed as well, especially with the tank gameplay here, we've seen the Knives tanks always together. You know, it's very rare that we won't see all 3 of them pushing onto an objective and just absolutely dominating. And it's something that Dragon haven't done too much of. They've allowed the tanks to be split across the whole map here, and that's what's allowed a 1v3 situation to happen. And even with the Tiger, 3 Shermans against the Tiger, like, the moment your rep man goes down, that's it. That's game over for you. So I would have hoped to see Dragons, you know, see what Knives did, group their tanks together, and that would have allowed them to have more control of the open areas around Delta and Echo. Unfortunately, it hasn't happened. If I'm honest, I think the tank here by Charlie hasn't done much for pretty much most of the game, apart from being a bit of a nuisance. You can go into Charlie without, you know, getting shot at by that tank, and that's allowed Knives to have free reign with their tank movements and vehicles and infantry sort of around the map here, and that's what's allowed them, I think, to win around 102 to what's going to be 0 tickets very soon.
Yeah, so it's very much confirmed that Knives will be taking Province by force, and it will be going over to the next round, which will be Rotterdam. And we have now come to the end of the map of Province, so we'll be going over to a very, very classic map. Very, very full of close quarters combat. Not so many tanks this time round. Tanks are going to have to start moving through the city. GG's to both teams, are very well played by Knives coming in for the big victory there. And guys, we're going to be going into the loading session now, and we will see you in about 60 seconds. Oh, it's the we're on to the break by the looks of things.
Yep.
So welcome back, guys. We are actually into a burn round at the moment, and you can currently see we're on Marita. We're not actually in Rotterdam just yet. This is allowing all the players to quickly go for a toilet break, get themselves together, make sure all the teams are fully present before we go over to Rotterdam. So we did see KNIVs coming in with a big win there. 107 tickets in total versus the Dragons, who are currently sitting on 0, but they may be able to bring this back in the next map of Rotterdam. So guys, if you need the toilet break, now's your time to do it. You can go to the toilet, you can get yourself ready and get yourself some food, some snacks, some drink. Come back and join us again. We're still going to be able, we can talk to you guys in chat as well while we wait. How is everybody doing today in chat? I hope you're all doing well. My name is Lycan MB. I am joined with Wild as well. We both shoutcast for Battlefield Nations as well as our own channels and other leagues. You can find us on most leagues, including Battlefield Nations. And you can also find us on our personal channels, which will be at twitch.tv/LycanMB and AWildeTime.
Yep.
You can currently see in chat. So yeah, you're more than welcome to follow us and join us. You don't have to, but we very much appreciate it.
So yeah, Lycan, I mean, talking about the game that we just saw there, we don't cast a lot of these 32x32s, you know. We're mainly the close quarters 5v5s, 8v8 max, you know, when Incursions was coming out with the larger-ish competitive side of things. How is this 32x32 shaping up for you? Like, what's your impression of it, seeing through the first map there?
Yeah, so in the form of 32 versus 32s, because the game itself, unfortunately, with the steady amount of updates that were coming out, was starting to die down. It's nice to see a 32 versus 32 competitive scene. There's a lot of things to go over when you look at the gameplay. You can't catch everything, but we tend to catch the best moments, or look for the moments of pushing. Just commentate on each team's moment of push, what they're taking, what they should take, and just give an overall, you know, point of view to everything. Now, yeah, like we do the smaller game types, score, conquest, domination, depending on what, you know, what game it is. It could be Battlefield 1, Battlefield 4, Battlefield 5, and you know, being able to have a duo cast as well to do it, so we can capture all of the juicy action is a very nice thing to do, and it's a very, very, very welcome thing as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. And for those of you guys who have seen the competitive tonight and you want to get involved in competitive esports for Battlefield, head to the Battlefield Nations Discord here and also follow them on Twitter as well to get involved for your nation versus nation competitive. It's absolutely awesome to see, absolutely awesome to cast. So definitely get involved with that as well. I'll put the link in the chat for you there. Head to the Discord and support and represent your favorite nation in future Battlefield Nation events.
Yeah, so I'm actually ambassador for the Xbox scene for Battlefield Nations for Great Britain. So I've got my hand in making the 5 versus 5 bracket that is on its way in the next following week, I believe, actually. We'll start to see that go down, and we'll be casting those type of games as well. We're going to be seeing Netherlands, we're going to be seeing Spain, France, we're going to be seeing loads of the UK, I was going to say UK nations there, loads of the EU nations. We've got America there as well, so we're going to be seeing a lot of games going down for the Battlefield scene for Xbox. So if you are an Xbox player, now is the time to join. There's a bracket incoming. We will be seeing a PlayStation 4 bracket coming again as well, and maybe a PC bracket on its way.
Yeah, I mean, the PC teams have been really active lately, playing across some other leagues at the moment, only in those 6v6s though. And it's really awesome to see how these PC teams compare against PS4 and Xbox. Each platform has their own active community, and it's lovely to see Battlefield eSports getting back and active again, even though Battlefield 5 had a bit of a rocky start for us, even with casters. It's been really good to see these teams compete, and it's lovely that the Indonesian guys and you guys out in the Pacific have reached out to us to cast such an amazing community event here.
Yeah, dude, I just seen Lycan equals my dad from Charles there. How's it going, Charles? Hope you're doing well, mate. Hope you're doing well, and I hope everyone's doing well in there as well. So yeah, Battlefield 5, unfortunately, when it released, was not quite complete. As you guys know, we had no custom games, so for us casters, we would have to sit in a game for up to 2 hours actually to wait for teams to come in and get rid of the public players just to be able to feel a game with comp players. So yeah, it was very, very bad back then. But lucky enough, we have now got custom games, so everything's been smoothed out. But unfortunately, there's still a few little nitty-bitty, gritty glitches still remain. As you can currently see, the infinite fire, we get a lot of issues there. So hopefully the next patch, we will see a lot more support for custom games coming down to banning weapons and stuff. Just given the overall competitive side of things, a lot more freedom, to be honest. That's what I'd love to see. That's what I'd love to see.
Completely agree. And cheers for Charles and It's Galaxy for following the channel. Make sure you guys, if you haven't followed the Battlefield Nations Twitch, all you got to do is press a button and you can be notified for all of the competitive action that Battlefield Nations has to offer as well. So thank you for joining the crew here tonight. We're just in a burn round for those of you just joining us. A little break for the players while we wait for the next map of Rotterdam. No aircraft in tonight's game. It's purely boots on the ground and those tracks on the deck here. A quick recap of what's happened tonight. We've seen Knives take both halves of Provenance there by only 107 tickets. So when you think about it, that's not a lot at all. It's been very, very tight. We have seen Naga, we have seen those dragons nipping at the heel of Knives all the way through. Thank you for following, and thank you for subscribing with the Prime. If you've got those Twitch Prime subs, you know where to stick them. Again, it all helps the channel and helps us as well. For the casters, able to bring you such awesome content with such a professional look as well. Maple in the background, who's playing as the cameraman for tonight, handling all of the overlays, the ad breaks, and the updating of the store. So make sure you give him a shout out in the chat as well, guys. It's not just about us. It's not just about the players. It's also about these guys in the background providing you this content.
Definitely giving a shout. Definitely giving a shout out to Maple there. Maple doing an absolute stellar job, keeping the Battlefield Nations comp scene alive, making sure all the nations are well looked after, keeping all the ambassadors in check as well, making sure they're okay with what they're doing, getting their teams together. Maple doing an absolute stellar job. If you don't know who Maple is, he is the man behind Battlefield Nations. So when you join the server and see all of those names, that man is the one keeping it all together.
So yeah, if you've got any questions about the game so far, please feel free to ask us in the chat, and we'll do our best to give you an answer here, whether it be about Battlefield Nations, about us as casters, or about the game and the esports Battlefield as a whole. Feel free to drop us a question. Again, this burn round is just here as a quick little break for the players, and we're going to use this chance to interact with you guys.
If Lycan blink, one big PP from Putes. Oh my god. Rip TMG. I know, Charles, my dude. It's a very unfortunate event indeed. But I still believe it will come back. So,
Lycan, I mean, when it comes to competitive Battlefield 5, what's your favourite game mode to cast here?
So, I do like Squad Conquest now. When I first started casting, I was doing 8 versus 8 Squad Conquest, one tank involved on each side. Absolute sweaty games. But at the moment, I've been really liking Frontlines. The Frontlines are totally different to Battlefield 1. It's more of a base of a bigger version of like a breakthrough game style, but it's just more closed into one alley more than anything. You've got 2 bombs at the end, and it could be hectic. And it's not too bad to cast either. You've got 12 aside on most cases anyway. I know you can get more than that, but 12 aside, 1 tank on each side as well. It can come into very sweatiness, especially when teams are pushing back on each other, going back to the center objective and going over to 1 bomb, coming back and taking another bomb. It can just get so hectic, and I do like a little bit of Frontlines. Yes, that is definitely one of my favorite most casts at the moment.
Interesting. And Darling Navash there, 32 by 32 games typically don't get played in as a bigger competitive environment or format. As we've seen it typically, at least in my experience, has been more for the casual and larger gaming communities out there. And I know the Pacific community tends to do this a lot. This is like the 3rd or 4th game that we've managed to cast for them. It is mainly those 8v8s and those 16 versus 16. Recently, though, we have seen a lot of 6v6 games pop up there. And for me personally, that's my favorite mode. I love those 5v5 formats, and 6v6 kind of meets me in the middle. I like the fact that one player, if he ends up getting a double or triple kill, can literally change the tide of the fight. I just love it so much. You know, it's all about the player skill. It's never about just bum rushing 5, 6, 10 guys at an objective. You have to be good as an individual player.
Dear Caster, can you name the best platoon in Europe, or the team that provided you with the best game that you ever cast? So, European-wise, actually, probably one of the best games I did in recent was for Xbox, and that was Surge versus Brigida 28. So, if you guys don't already know, that Surge is actually one of my teams that I actually played for as an active tanker. But yeah, so Surge going against Brigida 28, now Surge being opted as one of the best teams for EU for the Xbox scene. I actually had a bit of a struggle going against Brigida 28. It was actually the EU finals for TMGT6. And that game literally went down to the wire. But it didn't go to a tiebreak, but it was super damn close. You could actually find the VOD for that game on my channel as well. If you are looking to watch that game back, you can actually look through my channel for it. Is Surge versus Brigida 28 on there. So yeah, definitely an amazing game. And Wild, what's your favorite, my dude?
Oh, I mean, it all depends on the platform. If you're talking about PC, the best team out there at the moment has to be DAW. They're made up of actual competitive players who played in ESL way back in the day for Battlefield 3 and 4, and they've been dominating the PC side of things. And I think the best game at the moment for me has been Retired versus DAW on the PC. When it comes to the PS4, there's only really one sort of team out there that's just been absolutely dominating, and that's Pro Legion. They've just been on it left, right, and center, and it's very hard to come against a team that can actually compete against them. For those of you just joining and are asking what's happening here, you are in the mid-round break for a sort of a guest appearance here for the Pacific community. This is a 32 by 32 community game here. A little bit of an international friendly. We're joined by KNIVs versus Naga, and we're on the second round in. KNIVs winning 2-0 with 107 tickets on the board. The Dragons now need to get back into the game here and win both maps of both rounds of the next map, Rotterdam.
Dear Caster Lycan, if you reread this, you're a great person. Oh, thank you very much for the stream, my dude. Thank you. Caster, please play teaser clan match. Maple, I don't know if you can actually play the pre-made clip that was designed by one of the members of the community for this game. I'm not sure if you can able to do it or not.
Based on this game, how do you think these Asian teams will fare against a Western team? Honestly, we do have teams from the Pacific and Asia community that have competed against Europe. Unfortunately, it's a short end of the stick for either one or end of the teams. The pings are just way too high, and we even see this when teams like USA compete against the European teams. It just ends up being a bit of a struggle with the pings. The servers aren't good in that regard.
So I definitely know that Battlefield 1 was actually had a really good system where you had lenient latency, which you don't see in Battlefield 5, unfortunately, where the ping was actually stabled out between both teams. So you can actually have teams from across the world go against each other with very minimal impact to their ping loss. So I'd like to see that come ahead again in the next Battlefield, because that was a really good system, especially for competitive, and just be able to get the world to go against each other and just come in as a single community, able just to go up without having to deal with the nitty-gritty things, to deal with lag and spikes and things like that.
Asking if this is going to happen on a regular basis. I don't know if the 32 by 32 Conquest games will be happening on a regular basis, but definitely keep in touch and join the Discord, follow the Twitch channel, and follow the Twitter as well, as Battlefield Nations will most likely be doing more of the Squad Conquest smaller events, those 6v6, those 8v8 events later down the line, and we are seeing nation teams always scrimming against each other as well. There's a whole Battlefield competitive scene out there across 3 or 4 active leagues across the 3 different platforms, Xbox, PS4, and PC. It's out there. You just got to find it.
Thoughts about special server for all continent? I kind of don't understand this question there, Scream. Do you mean for example, like I was saying about lenient latency and stuff, or just a special server in general? If you can elaborate on that for me, my dude, I'll answer it for you.
I mean, it would be hard to have one particular server that's able to cater for every continent. It just can't happen, unfortunately. Someone is going to get the short end of the stick, and you see that across multiple esports. Even in Call of Duty, you see that happening, especially when we start to look at the at-home events now, where COVID's hit the scene. We are seeing things like Raw Ravens face against the Huntsman across the pond here, and they have to switch hosts because ping affects every single game and server out there. Thank you for the 3 new follows there. I did fortunately forgot the names, but cheers for following the channel. There'll be definitely more BFN action happening soon, and join the Discord, follow the Twitter, and keep an eye on it.
So yes, he's asking if there will be servers in every country that would get decent ping for competitive games. So like you saw in, for example, Battlefield 1, Battlefield 4, there are actually servers designed for every country. So you had like one for UK, Germany, you had Polish servers, you had South African, you had quite a lot of servers. Now, I did notice a few of them getting shut down for Battlefield 5, but that could be making way for servers for the next Battlefield. We don't know. So hopefully we'll start to see more dedicated servers for each individual country. This will allow for countries to go against each other with minimum ping loss. For example, you take Australia going against a team in Europe, for example. You could technically play on a server in the Arabic states, for example, and the ping loss will be around the same for both teams, which would even it out. So there could be a way to do that, but we would have to see. We'd have to see.
PC comp 100% dead. I guarantee you, my friend, PC comp is definitely not 100% dead. There's a league going on at the moment. I think there's going to be 2 leagues in the future relatively soon for the PC competitive side of things. I'm even building stat sheets for the teams as they compete in that league as well. And I guarantee you it's 100% not dead.
And I'm actually starting to build a home and a league for the PlayStation. Well, for the PlayStation and the PC guys over into my own Twitch channel, just to tide things over until we get a full league set up. So I'm trying my best to keep the community all together as well, and I believe I'm doing a pretty good job of it. And you can ask some of the guys in chat there that are familiar with me. Oh, lovely melee kill coming in there, getting those shinies for me with that pickaxe. Lovely job indeed. But yeah, I'm trying my best to keep the PlayStation guys and the PC guys coming in, making sure that they know that comp is around still, and just introducing them to Battlefield Nations as well. Getting the national teams to play off against each other is something you don't see very often. It's a very welcome thing indeed, just having teammates from different teams to come in, create themselves a national team and go up against other national teams. You even go against your own teammates from your actual teams as well. It's very, very strange, but it's a very welcome thing to do.
Yeah, no, it's going to be good. You need coffee, your eyes are tired. I mean, I'm in the same boat as you. I might go and grab myself a cup just before the next round starts, before we can get into things. We are ending the end of the burn round here, so cheers for your questions, guys. We are going to be jumping into the next map very, very shortly. Just a quick recap here. We saw Knives take the first 2 rounds of Provenance with 107 tickets to spare. Dragons now have to win the next 2 maps on Rotterdam to try and take this to the tiebreaker, if I'm not mistaken. So we could end up with another 3 rounds left to play. So stay tuned. We won't be holding you back for much longer here, guys.
See you later, Scream. Hope you enjoyed your time here, mate. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate everyone that has joined in today to watch this lovely match that we're doing for the guys in Malaysia and Indonesia. Hope you guys are enjoying. We've got Knives versus the Dragons. And the game is literally coming to an end. Everyone's had their toilet break. They've got their drinks. They've got their snacks. They're going to be going straight into Rotterdam for the final 2 rounds. Hope you guys are looking to enjoy this. And guys, we will see you in about 60 seconds. Okay, so we are back. We are in Rotterdam. I'm not sure if the trailer was broadcasted. I'm not entirely sure if we just had a bit of an issue there back end. It didn't work. Okay, so we can give it a go again at the end of the round if you like, Maple. I don't know if you want to give it a go again at the end of this round. We'll try and get this trailer out to you guys so you guys can watch out back. It is a very epic trailer indeed. We very much enjoyed it when we were showing it.
So yeah, moving into the next map of Rotterdam. Absolutely going to be gorgeous map to play on. Those tanks are going to be key towards that Bravo and Delta flag there. It's really the only place the tanks can push without having to worry about getting taken out as they cross bridges. The infantry gameplay is going to be key. The tanks are just going to be a nice little cherry on top. If the infantry can control the bridge that spans across Alpha here along those train tracks, they'll have a direct route to the opposition spawn, and those backcaps will come in hard and fast. So teams have to be on it, and they have to be on it from the very beginning here.
Yeah, indeed. So as you guys all know, Rotterdam is a very, very well-made, beautiful map indeed. Very beautiful map indeed. And I do enjoy watching this map, especially with the bridges. You can actually counterbalance a tank here, blowing up a bridge, dropping them straight into the river. I do like this map. It's a very one of the best maps in the game, I believe.
Yeah, and it's going to be key, especially Delta. We do see Delta end up being contested a lot here, especially when you can come from the train tracks, go through the buildings, and you've got a direct line here. So we tend to see a lot of tanks on that Delta flag, especially on the bridge there, because that's where one of the resupply stations are. So you have to get on there and you have to secure it fast. You can't let just a single infantryman be there and hide away. Again, when you look towards the Bravo flag, it's a slightly easier situation in terms of the defense there. You don't have to worry about this back line going straight into these buildings. You've got these two choke points that you can defend, and then you've got this very, very nice area to hold, and the tanks have got a lot of cover to defend. So in my point of view, Bravo is definitely the better thing to hold here. Alpha can be very, very finicky when you move over there, and it is your key towards the bridges and the train tracks along the top here. We're going to see the infantry typically when you come to sort of the smaller game modes take out those bridges, and it's going to force the tanks up north and away from you. But Charlie tends to be a very, very competitive flag here. People forget about it, and it ends up being left on its own. I've seen many a time where tanks have actually managed to get into this objective with the support of the infantry. And if you can capture this and put the pressure on, it's very, very nice passive income here. Again, the two home flags, Alpha and Echo, tend to stay in on your side. You don't have to worry about them too much here. So we're just going to be focusing mainly on that middle of the map and the canals and the docks here. So hopefully that was a good overview for you guys. The game will begin very, very shortly. Lycan, it's going to shape up to be a very nice 2 rounds.
Yeah, so one thing I like to do on this map, personally myself, is especially if I'm on the German side, I take a Panzer 38T. I load it with anti-personnel mines, along with the auto-loading 20mm cannon. And literally, I just beam around the map, going into Charlie, just dotting around, popping those mines, killing infantry, just being an overall nuisance to the enemy infantry players, because the infantry will stand out more than the tanks, because the tanks will end up slugging it down at the bottom on the docks there between Charlie and Delta. So getting at least one of your tanks out there and just go full anti-infantry, just being an absolute nuisance to the enemy guys, just getting them so annoyed that they just come after you. You're in a very fast tank. You can move around very, very quickly. You can get yourself into alleyways. You can get yourself into the Charlie objective. I've even managed to get myself into the restaurant of Charlie with that Panzer 38T and absolutely just be an absolute nuisance inside that building. So it's a very underrated tank indeed. And by the looks of it, we will now see the game go into play. We've got a giant push straight off the bat there from KNIV into Charlie. Straight away off the bat, both teams are fully present as well. Looking at Charlie at the moment, we've got a lot of game going down here. We've got snipers coming in from the directions. We've got support players going in. We've got Sierra going straight for the push to that building on the opposite side here. He comes straight in, getting a few shots off there, coming in with a lovely kill versus Tua. He's going up against a few members, pops of smoke, using the Type 2A. Let's see if he's able to follow up this with a few more kills.
And, you know, that's a very, very strong push for Knives. We really need to see Nago take control of this side of the map here, get in those buildings. Now it's going to be a real uphill struggle for them to even think about pushing into Charlie. And they've already lost so many players trying to do it as well. Delta is now in the hands of Knives. They managed to cap that before Bravo. And it wouldn't surprise me if we start to see the tank start slugging it out on those two flags as well. So it should be a very, very good game here. Knives taking a very early lead with the control of Charlie.
Yeah, so they've got hold of Charlie, Delta, and Echo. So they've got the home objective plus the center point. We're looking at Alpha and Bravo still under the guise of the Dragon. That I don't think we see much push going in towards that Charlie point at the moment, as Knives seem to have a full control. You can see they're just pouring out the building, coming in with a few kills. Still holding firm. Now we are starting to see Dragon members leak into that Charlie objective through the center buildings, and looks like Knives are actually on the push from Delta straight to Bravo using that dock side. Looks like Sergeant Easy's just holding the center as well. Looking over towards the docks, we've got a Tiger moving through. As you can see, blast straight through into that Bravo point right next to the restaurant. He is going to be coming in with a few rounds as well. Looks like I don't see the enemy tank actually coming in either. Now there are mines out there. He's just blown one up just there on the floor as well. Where is the tank for the Dragon? Oh, I do see him. I believe. Oh no, that's a half track. I believe actually. Actually, is that tank down for their team? That's not going to be very good if it is indeed. If the tank is down, that Tiger's got free roam on the docking. Bravo's been fully claimed. He's going to be just able to pump down rounds across map, just dealing some awesome damage. Now that is a unfortunate half track that just got blown up. There's one sitting on the bridge there, and we have got a lot of movement coming in from the Dragon guys trying to get their hold in towards Charlie. Bravo has been taken by Knives. If they take hold of Alpha, it is going to be a super quick match because a full cap and just tickets being absolutely drained super quick. Our Knives going to come out steaming in Rotterdam, or are we going to see Dragons come back and at least try and push and try and get into that tiebreaker?
Well, I mean, like I mentioned before here, the side definitely favours the sort of Germans from the very beginning, but if you can contest this Charlie flag and hold on to Bravo, you will 100% end up beating that side. So it's all dependent on the early gameplay and how you react to it. Unfortunately, Dragons haven't been able to get a foot in edgeways here. No matter where they push, no matter what they do, they're getting taken out. Even Delta at this point in most games tends to be contested with at least one or two infantry here. They just can't get anywhere, Lycan, and I think this is the issue we're going to see the Dragons face.
Yeah, so as soon as the Dragons take hold of Charlie, if they manage to take hold of Charlie, which I believe they are starting to with neutralize the objective, they can then leak into Echo and Delta, putting the pressure on these guys at the knife, forcing them to fall back into their home objectives. And this will allow then the Naga guys to push back into Bravo and just try and contain a foothold on the docks there. But we will see. It looks like Echo actually is starting to be taken. So they've actually leaked over to that objective like I said they should do. And now by doing so, they'll get a foothold onto the rear of these guys of Knife, push through into Delta, and maybe even get to the behind of that Tiger tank, stopping him from getting any sort of foothold further into the Alpha objective.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty safe here as long as he has his rep man. He's putting the pressure on. He's only got one guy lobbing a bazooka at him. It's not an issue at all. We really need to see the Dragons take control of the train tracks, grab that high ground. It's going to give them a good sort of vantage to lock off the tanks as they cross towards Bravo, but also give them a direct line towards Delta. But exactly how you mentioned before, Echo is now in control of Dragons. They've leaked through into Delta. Charlie is getting very unstable for Knives as it is. And even though they are putting the pressure on Alpha against the Dragons, Dragons might actually end up with the upper hand here.
Yeah, so that's what I really wanted to see there for the British, just to get into the rear cap of the Germans. Coming in from behind, taking hold of Echo Delta. I know they're losing Alpha, but they are going to be starting to relay that pressure away. Bravo's now under pressure again as well. They forwarded from Delta straight to Bravo, as they should do. And it looks like Knives are literally being cleaned off. They're going to be going back into towards Alpha. Where's that Tiger tank? That Tiger tank's going to be in a lot of pressure soon, especially with the British tank going to be coming back into the game as well. And I wonder what he's going to take. Is he going to take the Churchill? Is he going to take the Valentine Mark 8 with the anti-mine rounds? You could literally rush a Tiger with that thing and literally insta-kill it. So I'm tempted to see what goes on.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a bittersweet push for the Dragons here. You know, they managed to get a really good push through round back of Charlie. They managed to grab Echo, they grabbed Delta, and as quick as it happened, they've lost it. They've lost that control. The momentum stopped when they tried to push onto Bravo, and they just got absolutely sandwiched by the Knives team here. As you can see, Knives have got Echo back, they've got Bravo back, and we are where we were a few minutes ago. Knives taking a early lead with over 100 tickets on the board here.
Yeah, so they've managed to pull back, secure their foothold again on Echo and Delta, taking back Charlie. Looks like they are contesting Bravo at the moment as well, keeping the Dragons at bay. They managed to claim back the home objective of Alpha. Now, we still not seen that tank come into play from the British side. Now, we definitely need that tank to come through and get some big plays here, because the tanks are essential to keep this map under control. The Tigers literally had a free roam of the objectives for far too long. We need to just see some pressure going down here from the Dragons before they end up losing the lead way too much. As you currently see,
and this is what I was on about, Lycan. You see the huge push going across the train tracks there, looking to rip into the back of Delta. There's no one there from the Dragons. The tank is pinning them down. Boo-hoo, it is what it is. Just run around the other side of the tracks here. They have to keep pushing, keep that momentum up, and they'll be able to reach anywhere on the map and be able to grab that Echo and Delta flag.
Yeah, so the Naga guys, we've got two guys in here at the moment for their team. He just lost his teammate in front of him. He's going to go for that revive. He's rocking a Suomi with an iron sight, something you don't see every day. He's going to be looking to move through, get himself a cheeky kill or two, hopefully. But he is probably going to go up against more long-range guns. Oh, and we have got ourselves some IR gameplay coming in, which is very unfortunate indeed. Now, I did notice the Naga guys was utilising the top of that bridge there to move through. Charlie point has been claimed. Delta is under pressure. Echo is under pressure yet again. If Naga can keep doing this and just keep that pressure up, they may be able to put enough pressure on the guys of KNIV and just keep those tickets coming down very, very slowly. But they, again, they've got a big lead to come back from. Yeah,
that massive push into Charlie from KNIV. Dragons fought to the bitter end there, and they had like one or two guys left who thought, hey, I can have a quick break in. Before they know it, almost like 10, 15 guys come through every alley, doorway, and window and just retake the flag. But while that's been happening, it's given Dragons free roam of Alpha, Bravo, Delta, and Echo. Knives are on the back foot here a little bit. They have to try and re-grab these flags. They've got a pretty hefty lead. It's going to allow them to be a bit more comfortable, a bit more relaxed about it. They can't hang around for too long as we start to see them go down. Players in randy positions lying in corners.
Lying in corners behind a friendly's body, which was then just being a cheeky little man, just keeping it like a camouflage, to be honest. He looked at his teammate's body, didn't realize he was in the corner, got absolutely sprayed. I know he went down in the end, he got picked back up. But it's those type of plays, especially when you're ratting, as I like to call it, like in an objective, and just waiting for an anchor point, or just getting yourself some cheeky kills, just being an overall nuisance. And we currently see some Gewehr 43 gunplay there, getting some cross-range fire over towards Alpha from that member of KNIV. And by the looks of things as well, we are seeing a lot of counter plays coming in from the guys of the Dragons. They're still pushing back in towards Delta. Looks like they will not be able to take the objective. They've still got Echo. They're coming in floods. They're just being an overall nuisance towards KNIVs, just keeping them off the foot here. And as you said, they got 4 objectives just a second ago, which ended up actually bringing the ticket lead down a little bit more. But again, KNIVs will come back again swinging. They've got hold of Alpha, Bravo, and Delta, so they've got the majority cap at the moment.
Yeah, and this is what the Dragons need to do. Split off into pairs, like little groups of like 4 and 8. Be one of each flag. And the moment we start to see these KNIVs players move off of the flag, move on, go for the cap. If you keep doing that, you'll play the rotation. And that pretty much means that you're going to drag KNIVs in their big 15 SEAL Club squad, moving across the map from left to right. And it's going to allow you to start slowly chipping away at that lead and hopefully bring it down to a stable sort of even game around the 200 180 ticket mark there, and that's when you can then start mounting on the pressure and taking control of the game. The Sea Dragons can do that. They've done a very good job at the moment, just being everywhere and applying that pressure to KNIVs.
Yeah, so definitely well done there to Naga, getting hold of that Echo objective. I know they're starting to lose it now, but they've kept that pressure up for some time. They've got hold of Bravo and Charlie. They're taking hold of Alpha. They're taking back Delta very, very slowly. Now, this is the pressure they needed. They are actually starting to lose out, though, on the kills. The kills coming in from the KNIV guys. They are literally starting to light up that leaderboard. We just see the big red block there. But KNIV still managed to just get that little bit of outplaying and managing just to counter-rotate the guys of NAG who are utilizing the middle of the bridge. And they're just coming in droves. And you can see in the corner there, we've got some sneakiness from the trench carbine of the hanging spar, who's got himself 1 kill. He's coming out with a revolver, but unfortunately he will be going down there. But still, cheeky plays like that do count.
Yeah, and this is what we need to start seeing. Cheeky plays like this, just being a pain in the backside, getting 1 or 2 kills, slowing these guys down. Unfortunately, I think he went a bit too aggressive, pushing into the smoke, could have run away, and there's a whole building of 3 stories behind him. But it's allowed, Naga to get some breathing room. Cheeky little plays like that, and like we're seeing from Ketom here, getting into the top, trying to watch in for the push towards Charlie. So very good plays from Dragons as they start to move in, but Knives retaking control of things. They're 200 tickets ahead. The Dragons just can't seem to get a foothold for long enough to lock that lead down. Starting to see Charlie being pushed here. Knives doing a good job to defend. Delta is looking nice and easy for Knives as well. And we just can't seem to see a break here for the Dragons. They're between the flags, but they're just not on them. They're always fighting for the control of the real estate to get for the attack here. And Knives are doing a good job defending. The Tiger tank around the back has had the repair guy sniped off by Gerald here. And gets a good hip fire into It's Me as he continues his spree, pushing across onto this bridge. And, the Grand there is an absolute awesome gun for that maneuver.
I believe he's using not the Grand, he's using the, oh my god, I cannot think of the word for it for myself. It's the SMLE. It's the turn SMLE.
Oh, is it SMLE he's using there? My bad for that one, guys. I'll just go and take a quiet moment in the corner and think about what I've just done as we start to see Echo go back into the control of the Dragons once more.
Yeah, so that SMLE is a very, very nice powerhouse. I was surprised you're using an iron sight with it, actually, and not 3 times. The 3 times SMLE Turner can be an absolute beast to be reckoned with. We're currently looking at Goat here, absolute goated player with that Model 37 of his. He's going to be looking to get into this building. Coming back into Echo for his team, taking back his home objective. The Tiger tank is still up. I have not seen the Naga tank whatsoever. I haven't seen the British tank at all so far this game. I have no idea where he is and where he's playing to, but hopefully we'll see some tank-on-tank warfare. I just seen the Tiger pick up a kill against Clear and pick up another kill. So he's just raining down fire from Delta Point at the moment over towards Bravo. Oh, there it is. The British tank is actually right behind the docking at the moment on fire. You currently see the black smoke coming out from there. And I kind of want to know what that tank is. It could be a Valentine Mark 8. It might be a Churchill, but by the look of the small profile, it's probably the Valentine. And it is indeed. So he is coming up against a Tiger. That Tiger is just pumping APR rounds into him, just smashing into him, taking him down and out for the count. Tiger tank to be reckoned with. Absolutely coming blasting that poor Valentine away. And Delta being fully reclaimed back by the guys at KNIV. They're going to be looking to push back over towards Bravo and just come ahead, absolutely steaming with that lead today on Rotterdam.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be a big factor as why Knives was able to maintain a lot of control here. They're just staying alive for a lot longer. Their vehicle presence is on it, making Delta such a hard flag to push, and especially Bravo such a hard flag to defend. When you've got a Tiger just constantly slapping you around and just killing plays left, right, and centre. I mean, we just see like that there, half helps one guy, shoots another guy, gets another kill in the exact same position. Dragons are just throwing themselves at this guy at this point.
They're attempting to move in towards Delta there, and the Tiger tank's doing a real good job. He's not panicking. He's taking hits from the front. He's got his rep man on his read. Deploys the smoke just to pull out slightly because he's going to get flanked from that left side. Delta's being captured. The last thing he wants is dynamite being rained on him from above, because that will take him down, and it could also take out his rep man as well. So being able to pull back there and just hold his own, he's going to be able to hold on to Delta for quite a while, actually. Even if he does go down, that Tiger has done his job. He's managed to hold. He's acting like the tank should be, taking all of the pressure, taking all the aggro away from the incoming support that he will get from his infantry members. As we currently see, we've got Knives coming in now, and look at that Type 100 spray. Not managing to get a kill, but still managing to stay alive. for how much longer. Are we going to see any Dragon push, counter push here? Lovely kill there for that KE7 against Jim. Now he does take cover there right next to the medical crate. Utilizing that bipod, coming in with a few more rounds, coming in with a bunch of fire. But unfortunately, like I said, the KNIV infantry guys with the help of that tank are starting to flood the Delta objective, and they will take this away from the Dragons.
Now, do the Dragons just have the momentum to push and hold these flags at this point? Knives have been there at every step of the way. The moment they get onto a flag and contest it, we're starting to see like 10 guys come out of nowhere with the counter push. They get the wipe, and that's how they manage to maintain over 200 tickets of a lead this far here. We see Knives still struggling to mop up the last few guys here on Delta. There's only like 1 or 2. The Tiger tank finally going down, which is going to give Dragons some breathing room across the mid there. So hopefully they can take a nice little break, push the Valentine up, and that British tank can actually do something this game. I haven't seen him make an impact one bit so far. I don't know, maybe I've missed something there, Lycan, but that's the first time we've seen him.
Yeah, so the Valentine tank is actually a force to be reckoned with. It can actually take down a Tiger very, very quickly. Going against the Churchill and the Valentine is my go-to tank. It's fast, it can out DPS a Panzer IV because its cannon is, you know, a quicker firing cannon in total, especially when you've got the bigger, you know, the 6-pounder on board. And when you're going up against a Tiger tank, all you need is a rep man. And if you load yourself with the anti-mine clearing device, you rush that Tiger tank, you let loose those anti-mine clearers, and you can decimate a Tiger instantly with that thing. So it's definitely a force to be reckoned with. We just need to see it be, you know, that tactic be applied in the right circumstance on Rotterdam. Definitely the better tank to take here for the British side, and he is doing a good thing there. And by the looks of it, he is pushing up now. He's taking down a member of KNIV there, and he is taking down another member. If we can beam over towards the Delta/Bravo area, we could actually see what this Valentine is up to now that the Tiger is off the map. And let's see if they're able to come in and get themselves some juicy kills. And looks like the Tiger is back into the game. So is that Valentine going to outlast this Tiger tank? We shall see.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We need to see him actually make a difference for the game here, because the Tiger's just wreaking havoc. Every time we've jumped on him, he's taken out 3, maybe 4 players before we've decided to move somewhere else. And when you consider the damage that does to a push here, you know, you have a 10-12 man push. If 5 guys start to die instantly, you just can't, like, do anything. It nullifies your whole push and makes counterattack so much easier, especially on this Delta and Bravo side of things. Knives have managed to just maintain complete control of this game from the get-go. Dragons always on the back foot on every flag.
Yeah, the lead has come to a massive lead now. KNIV have got themselves a very, very comfortable position. They're 452 versus 166 and counting down very, very quickly. The kills are coming out. The bleeds are coming out. The tickets are literally draining away. They've got 3 out of 5 of the objectives. Alpha is under pressure. Echo seems to be safe now for Naga, and they need to be able to push back into Delta here. But this lead is going to be very hard for the Dragons to come back by, especially when Knives have that Tiger tank up, and that Tiger tank has been absolutely raining down the pressure here and just keeping the dockside under control. Now, when it comes to this game type, keeping the dockside is 100% the play to have, because that just leads to pushing into Alpha, leads to pushing back into Echo. Charlie Point, yeah, it could be a stage in front pushed by infantry, but you know, that is one objective out of the many that you can capture from that dockside.
Yeah, and we're just not seeing Dragons really take advantage of the opportunities that they made. All the bridges are out now. Players have now got opportunity to lock the target in one position, take him out. The Tiger's on the opposite side of the map, so I would be expecting Dragons to have full control of Echo, Charlie, and Alpha at this point. It hasn't really moved to Bravo, so they've had a good opportunity to move there. They just have not been able to hold on to the objectives for any significant amount of time. Knives in these close quarters environments here, and especially when you start to talk about these small groups of the 5 to 4 to 3 players against each other, Knives just seem to be coming up on top here, where we saw Dragons on Provenance able to put up much more of a fight because it was these larger style engagements, I think.
Yeah, 100%. So you currently see it's just backwards and forward at this time between objectives, but again, Knives with a big lead here. And unfortunately, I'm going to believe here now Knives have got the biggest lead they can get. Even if they get like full cap, it's still under kills of what's going on down that Tiger tank. Keeping down the kills, keeping those tickets bleeding out. And you currently see over towards Alpha objective at the moment, we have got a Knive presence on the home spawn flank for the Dragon guys. They're going to be able to keep them at bay. They're going to keep spawning in from the spawn. And even from Bravo, and they're utilizing the top of that bridge, just spraying down rounds. You've got Vodka down there on the left side. You've got a guy down there at the center. And yeah, just Knives on Rotterdam. Absolutely slaying it tonight. Absolutely slaying it. But well done to Naga being able to get hold of that push towards the rear, like I said they should do from the bridge side, and just bleed out into the opposition objectives here. We would have seen this game come to a very early end if they did not do that.
Yeah, and it's a shame because the Dragons did so much work in those first 2 rounds here, really showing themselves that, hey, Knives were not to be underestimated. But when you come to Rotterdam, a completely different style of play here, where you can't rely on the fact that you can have 3 tanks running around. You have to focus on their individual squad gameplay. Knives just seems to be coming up on top. And with that, they pushed back into Echo, completely wiping out the resistance here. Ursa just giving no damns here, running around every corner and just getting kill after kill after kill. Automaton there with the machete as well in the kill feed. Again, this is the thing that makes Knives just absolutely deadly in this map. They lose like 4 flags in a row, and then all of a sudden, in a blink of an eye, they have them all back here.
So just after this replay, we actually just seen Ursa go up that staircase, and he's still going. So he came in with a triple kill as he enters into the top of that tower, moving his way around the outskirts of that objective, his home objective actually. And I believe he just had an enemy team player just jump on him then and absolutely decimate him, which is very unfortunate indeed. The Swomy is a gun to be reckoned with, very fast firing, very high time to kill. So well gun as well, being a very underrated gun. Very nice at long range. It's actually comparable to the EMP for its range, but its stopping power is absolutely insane. And by the looks of things, we are now starting to come to the end of this round. We are looking at Knives at the moment with a big lead. 41 tickets remaining for the Dragons. And we're looking at Maki Denisi here, just up the staircase with the Breeze gun. Another very underrated gun coming in with the power as well. It's a 2-shot to the head. And it could deal some massive damage at close range. Massive damage at close range. But also, you can have that suppressor, which will stop enemy teammates from being able to find out where that fire is coming from, because it doesn't actually give you the range of fire. It doesn't tell you where it's coming from. So very good gun to be utilized. And I keep seeing melee kills as well, and I'm just itching to find out where they're coming from.
I mean, if it was if a smaller game mode, it'd be easy to follow those guys. But with 64 players on the field right now, they're happening quite frequently here. We just saw someone got killed with a specialized tool. He got killed with the ammo box. I think I saw that in the kill feed right there. No idea what that one was. Like, it's happening left, right, and center. And with that, I think we are going to see Knives take this game. 357 tickets to 10 here. Dragons have to be coming up with some sort of miracle to try and win this round.
Yeah, so we're definitely going to be seeing Knives come ahead here on this round. We're going to go over to the second round of Rotterdam. Now, I believe Echo is starting to be captured back by Naga, but I believe it may be a little too late. Bravo is actually going back as well to the Knife control. We're down to just 3 tickets. That's 3 bleed outs. And we're going to be seeing the end of this game. Well played to both teams. Very well done indeed. Naga coming in with the plays, going straight towards Echo, grabbing those rear objectives, just trickling out into the other objectives, just putting down pressure onto the guys at Knives. But Knives coming ahead strong today. And there we go. 343 ticket win for Knives in the first round of Rotterdam. We're going to go into a short break, guys, of around 60 seconds. We're going to try and get this YouTube video played for you so you guys can see the trailer that was made by one of the community members of this lovely community of Indonesia and Malaysia. And guys, we will see you in a few seconds.
We know that Knives will be staying in, and if we just take a quick look at the scoreboard, we'll see what players we have left here. And it does look like, I do believe the Dragons are calling it there. Knives taking a nice 3-0 clean sweep there. Slay the Dragons in tonight's game. What an awesome game it has been.
Yeah, what an amazing game it's been today. Amazing game. Well done to the KNIV guys for coming out with a big win today, going up against the Dragons. So the Dragons, very well played indeed. Very well played indeed.
So, yeah, guys, thank you for joining us tonight in what has been sort of a very rare occurrence for the Battlefield Nations channel and for us as casters. We've had Naga and Knives from the Indonesian Pacific community here joining us with a massive 32-by-32 game here. We've seen 3 awesome rounds of Conquest across 2 awesome maps here, and it's been amazing. Provenance was very, very close. We saw the Dragons come very, very close to victory in that first round at 6 tickets. And from there, unfortunately, Knives were just able to maintain their lead with a 3-0. I've been a WildTime. I've been joined by good friend and caster here, Lycan. He's had an awesome game here tonight. And this has been the Battlefield Nations International Friendly 32-32 Conquest with Naga and Knives.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining us, guys. Just before we come off and go for the time, if you haven't already, give us a follow. Give us a follow on Battlefield Nation. Join the Discord as well. If you guys are fancying playing for your fellow nations, we will be able to accommodate you for that as well. And also, if we're okay to drop our links for our personal channels into there as well, you can give us a follow on Twitch there. We do stream from our own channels. If you are looking to see what we can do individually for other leagues and for other teams as well. If you're just looking for some fellow content for casting, you're more than welcome to drop us a follow there. So if you'd like to drop your link into the chat there, WildTime, you're more than welcome to.
Nice.
And without further ado, guys, we shall see you soon. And hopefully we will see you again. Very well played to the Knives indeed. They are just burning out this round by the looks of things, as the Naga guys have left the field. But yeah, I've been Lycan MB. This has been Wild as well. GG's. Please play trailer. We've attempted to play it a few times, but I believe it's not working, unfortunately.
Yeah, we have tried. Iloki, it's me, Maple, bro. I tried to play, man. I press replay. I press, bro. It was the audio loading. I really try. We post the trailer on Discord, on Facebook, on Twitter, the poster. We were streaming it, but the things that the community have done for each side, that was really worth it to promote it. So yes, go check this out. Just join the Discord server to click on the first stream channel announcement. You will see it. Big thanks to everyone. Sorry for not been able to play the trailer, but go check this out and take care, guys. Take care to everyone. Peace.
Peace.